you. This is VFL Live.
And what a glorious Saturday afternoon it is at Box Hill City Oval. The reigning premiers, the Hawks, take on Geelong today here on Hard Jacket, Totally Workwear VFL Live. It's round 14 and it is a big game between 7th and 8th on the ladder. My name's Adam Sarikoglu. Michael Peppicelli is alongside me today. Michael, we had atrocious conditions last week at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Winter at its absolute worst. And today we've got a fine winter's day here at Coburg City Oval. It could not be any better, the conditions for footy here today.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Melbourne winter at its very best and worst, I suppose. But as you said in the intro, a big game today, 7th taking on 8th. And the winner of this one really gets a chance to consolidate themselves in the top 8 and make a push towards finals. And we might speak about this a little bit later, but their form lines coming in couldn't be any more different.
The Cats are running past our man boundary side as we speak. We welcome back to the coverage Mark Stone. Haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, Stoney. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, boys. Beautiful Box Hill City Oval. This is one of my favourite grounds, suburban footy at its best.
Especially when the weather's like this, Stoney.
Especially when it's like this. There's a little breeze, always a little bit of breeze down here, and we'll talk about it a bit later. But looking forward. Really good contest. I was talking to people from Geelong just in the last few minutes about the injuries and the lack of injuries they've got in the team, and they've got a really good side on paper, and they're a dangerous side, Geelong Footy Club. Box Hill, as you spoke about, but I expect a really good contest, a really high-class contest, and as you boys pointed out, a beautiful winter's day, around about 15 degrees, and I'm just enjoying lapping up. Got the sun cream on today and got the sunglasses on. Really looking forward to a fantastic contest.
The Cats have 17 listed AFL players out here today. Of course, the AFL team will play the Western Bulldogs tonight. Charlie Constable, Gary Rowan and Darcy Fort. Those Cats held over. Only 14 AFL listed players, Michael, but 2 of those are 4-time AFL Premiership players in Jared Ruffhead, and in his second game back today, Grant Birchall.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Jared Ruffhead, we know he's been such a champion of the AFL for so long, and he's just found himself on the outer a little bit at Hawthorn this season, but his attitude when coming down to the Box Hill Hawks system has been second to none, and expecting him to have a really good game today, back from a side strain which kept him out of action last week. So he'll be certainly wanting a chance to have his presence felt. And Grant Birchall, we know the injury issues he's gone through over the last 18 months or so. Back in for his 3rd game of VFL action today, thinking he might play towards a full game or maybe 80% of game time. And he'll certainly be another one who will be looking to bolster that Hawthorn AFL lineup in the future.
It is a very busy day of Hard Jacket, Totally Workwear VFL action. Firstly, we had VFL women's action here earlier today at Box Hill City Oval, and Geelong got revenge on Hawthorn for last year's grand final victory. Of course, the Hawks went back-to-back at Marvel Stadium last year with Box Hill and Hawthorn in the women's, but the Cats got a 7-point win earlier today. Around the grounds, there is a game already underway at the VU Whitten Oval between Footscray and Richmond. The Bulldogs are 5-2-32, leading Richmond 4-26. That is almost halfway through the second term. And then, kicking off at the same time as our game are 3 other VFL games. Werribee is hosting Collingwood at Avalon Airport Oval. I wonder how many Magpies will be potentially playing for AFL spots, Michael, after a disappointing couple of weeks for the Pies at the top level. Williamstown is hosting Frankston in an all-standalone showdown at Downer Oval, and at Casey Fields it is the Demons taking on the Northern Blues. We'll take a very quick break here at Box Hill City Oval. A 2 o'clock start today for the Hawks and the Cats. Adam Sarikoglu, Michael Peppicelli and Mark Stone with you on VFL.com.au and SEN2. We'll be back with the first bounce right after this.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work. Totally Workwear.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Counting down to the start of round 14 here at Box Hill City Oval. Of course, the round has already gotten underway with an early start between Footscray and Richmond, which is halfway through the second term. The Footscray Bulldogs are 5-2-32, Richmond 4-2-26. 4 other games about to kick off here in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Box Hill are the reigning premiers at the moment. They are 8th on the ladder, 5 wins, 5 losses and a draw. Geelong only doing slightly better at 6-5, but a very strong lineup out here in the hoops today for the Cats. Mark Stone is our man, boundary side. Stoney, you spoke about a potential little breeze when we do get the coin toss shortly between Andrew Moore and Aaron Black. The winner of the toss will point which way?
Yeah, boys. If you know the Box Hill City Oval, the scoreboard's to the right of the dial, to the northern or the southern end here at Box Hill City Oval, and that's where the breeze is going. It's coming into a forward pocket into the social rooms, which is in the right forward pocket opposite the scoreboard. So it's the right-hand side, the southern end here at Box Hill City Oval. And it's about a 2 to 3 goal breeze, boys. It's swirling around at the moment, but certainly going to that end of the ground. And I'm sure the side that wins the toss will kick that end in, and then no problem.
It's a log jam in the middle of the table at the moment, not only this game, but with Casey taking on the Northern Blues as well. Both those sides are just slightly back on the ladder from these two as we speak. Percentage notwithstanding, the winner of that could potentially go above the loser of this. So it's a big day of VFL footy. Tomorrow, of course, North Melbourne will take on Sandringham. That's the TV game you can watch from 11:30 on Channel 7, and Coburg will take on Essendon as well. A lot of Sunday games this year for the Burgers. They're playing the Bombers tomorrow in a bit of a local derby.
Just we talk about July importance, and I was listening to and importance of
Stoney, might need you to just
how's that?
move. Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, just talking speaking about July and how important July is for team.
No, we've lost Stoney, unfortunately. We might need him to come a bit closer towards us. Not too far away from the start. Stoney, we'll try one more time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we've got the same.
Just talking about the injuries in July and how much a really important time of the year it is getting players back. And just with this VFL, you talked about a logjam, and injuries will play a big part. You'll probably see player sides come from outside the 8 now, having wins where injury tells a lot, performance and also players available.
Just for our SEN2 audience, apologies if you missed the start of our broadcast. I believe we're now broadcasting live and clear a 2 o'clock start for this game between Box Hill and Geelong. Stoney, would you mind just going around the grounds with us and perhaps getting a small prediction on what might happen around the grounds today? There is a game obviously in progress with Footscray leading Richmond by 13 points in a relatively low-scoring affair. Oh, it's only in the second quarter. I thought it was the third quarter. It's actually probably on par at the moment. So the Dogs are looking okay against Richmond, who are on top of the ladder, Stoney. Let's go.
Yeah, I still like Richmond in that game. Footscray. That's another game we talked about, players available and that sort of thing. It's just it'll be a close contest. I reckon Richmond will get the points, and Richmond will be a side later in the year will be really performing well, I think.
Of course, made a grand final 2 years ago here in the VFL. I know where your heart lies in this one, Stoney, with Werribee hosting Collingwood.
3 good, very important players out of today. Barlow and then Josh Clayton, all out of that team today. So it's going to be a tough ask down at Avalon.
We've got Williamstown taking on Frankston. You'd expect the Seagulls to get that win.
Yeah, too much experience. I watched Williamstown play a couple of weeks ago. They look a really prominent team with their forward line. Nick Rodder's in good form, so he'll be a key player.
Just imagine how picturesque it would be at Downer Oval right now, Stoney, with this beautiful sun beaming down over the bay. It would be a great game to be at today if you're around the grounds and wanting to take in some VFL action.
Yeah, certainly would be a great. I missed the toss there, boys, so apologies. I was looking at you guys. So
I think we'll be able to tell soon enough by where some of the players line up. I'm looking for one Jay Roughhead, and he looks like he's heading toward the Davey Street end of the ground, which is left of screen if you're watching us on VFL.com.au. So unless he's starting unusually down back, I would say Box Hill going left of screen. I see Wiley Buzzer making his way right of screen. So we'll go with Box Hill to the left and Geelong to the right in this opening term.
Geelong have the breeze, boys. About 3 goals, I reckon.
3 goals. Final game to look at, Casey and the Northern Blues. That's a big game, just as big as this one.
Yeah, Casey Demons just in that game.
Casey coming off a 34-point win over Box Hill last week. That was also at Casey Fields. All set to go here. Round 14, hard jacket, totally workwear, VFL, Box Hill hosting Geelong. Here's Michael Peppicelli.
7th taking on 8th on the VFL ladder. A big game for both sides this afternoon, as we might get a recalled bounce to start. No, umpire says play on. Segler and Smith were the 2 rucks going at it, but it'll be the Cats winning the first clearance. Narkle with the quick hands off to Parsons, who just rolls it inside forward 50. Didn't get great purchase on the kick. Overrun by Black. This whole happening inside the left forward pocket for the Cats. Picked up by McLaughlin, but eventually run over the boundary line.
Quick change, boys. Nathan Kruger out of the team. A late change, and Paddy Dowling into the team.
Thank you, Stoney.
Very late change.
Yeah, it just happened in the warm-up apparently.
Nathan Kruger did have to overcome a bout of concussion to be named in the lineup this week, but obviously something else might have come up in the warm-up as the Hawks muscle it forward a little bit, but only just outside defensive 50 where we get another stoppage. No score in the opening minute, no real shot at goal early on. Ball locked inside the forward half of the Cats at the moment, as eventually it spills free. Lots of numbers around it. Eventually tacked clear for Box Hill. Over the head of Gore, who hasn't played since round 1 for the Cats. Now taken by Walker. He got a handball away before being tackled. There is Roughhead. His kick across the ground. Not a great one. And then Ruffy comes in and lays a strong tackle. He's been engaged early on. We'll get a ball up at centre half forward for the Cats.
So this the Box Hill defence will be real working overtime, trying to get this Breeze as prominent in this first quarter.
Segler does the dance with Smith, bouncing ball. Tarka tried to emerge, but a free kick is coming back for the Hawks to be taken by Jimmy Cousins. He'll come to this near side of the ground. Here's Segler. Back in the Box Hill lineup today is Jonathan Segler. He goes inboard. And the Hawks are happy to chip around to half-back. It's in the hands of Kilpatrick. He's asked to play on. The high left foot ball. Just approaching half forward. Reid got a hand on it. Hawks at ground level. One of those getting the hand pass out was Mullinger McHugh. Now we're inside 50. Put down late after the kick there was Harry Jones. We are inside 50 for Box Hill, only temporarily. Guthrie gets the clearing ball out. It's going to bounce in front of McLaughlin. It's rolling toward half forward and just skids out of bounds. Boundary throw-in.
And we've seen McLaughlin play that last game down at Simmons Stadium, and the speed of the young fella and the gears he's got when he's got the ball in hand.
It was an 89-point win against Frankston 2 weeks ago right here on VFL Live.
He is a very impressive prospect, young Jackson McLaughlin, only 21 years old, and there isn't much of him. Just the 170 centimetres as Narkle gathers and drives it towards full forward. He might have been having a shot, in fact, but the kick out of bounds on the full.
Local knowledge, gents. That pocket is a really hard pocket to kick goals from.
And the Cats will find that out in the first quarter of this contest as Box Hill ball, Mirror to take the free kick. And the Hawks just content to play it slowly for the moment before an option opens up. That was Kilpatrick. Had the easy mark slip through his fingertips, created a little bit of a problem for himself, but able to get it over the boundary line. Not a bad result for the Hawks. Good crowd in today, Stoney.
Yeah, really good. Always good crowds here at Box Hill. They really support the local team and the locals get down. So you'll hear a lot of noise as the day goes on.
Some Geelong fans have travelled well. Of course, we had the doubleheader with the women's earlier.
As the Hawks clear the stoppage, long ball, ill-directed really, and it'll bounce out of play in front of Henderson and Guthrie for Geelong. So the Hawks just happy to inch it forward for the moment. No real clear options or clear ball movement really opening itself up at the moment. These are two of the better defensive teams in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL as Cousins' handball is stolen by Parsons. McLaughlin had a fumble, but it actually proved beneficial in the end because that allowed him to get it to Selwood, whose kick rolled towards buzzer, but he wasn't able to gather it on the half volley, the young man. And now a chance for Minchington. Gives it off to Jones. He's been busy early on. A lot of Hawthorn supporters really interested to see how that young man develops as Parsons gathers and just sends it high in hope towards a goal square. Simpson there. Did well not to infringe in the contest, but Box Hill all the numbers as Brand, one way then the other. And eventually the Hawks clear through Birchall.
So Grant Birchall, he'll go short for Cousins. Still inside defensive 50 for Box Hill. Man out wide is Segler, and he's quick to give the hands off. Kilpatrick towards half forward. Neat little ball for Nathan Mullinger McHugh. Previously on Footscray's VFL list as he looks to send the Hawks into attack. We're still waiting for the first score of the game. Big fly from Jared Roughhead.
That'll make the highlights, that one.
A very good mark by Ruff. He's on the wrong side for a left footer, but he is going to think about a shot with the mark set at about 49 metres. Take a look at this fly.
Yeah, you boys are right behind this.
From the four-time premiership player. Decides not to shoot. A great mark followed up by a disappointing kick inside 50. Cats do get it back. It's touched off the boot. Narkle has to work his way through some traffic. Did well. Got his hand pass out to Oakenbaugh. Now it's in the hands of McLaughlin. Little dribbling ball for Brownless. He gets brought down very quickly by Mirror. Narkle picks up again for the Cats. Handball for Simpson. We're in the middle of Box Hill City Oval. Well one back for the Hawks there by Morrison. A lot of pressure around this ball though. Umpire crosses his arms.
Really defensive game at the moment. Both sides working overtime defence. Box Hill look a better side at the moment. They're getting a lot of the footy.
Still a bit of spring in the legs after 282 AFL games and 15 years in the big time for Jared Roughhead. As we get another stoppage. Just inside the centre square. Cool picks it up. No, it's Jermaine Jones. Might have given himself a new haircut there. Those tips look like a recent addition as Oakenborg gives it over the top to Simpson. He's been a very good player for them this season. Buzzard tried to body out his opponent there in Brand, but couldn't take the mark. Now it's gathered by Taya Miles, who had a little bit of indecision, but able to find Birchall inside defensive 50. And the Hawks have been able to transition to the other side. It's in the hand of Will Golds now. Deep inside his defensive 50. Doesn't have too many short options, so just goes long to the one-on-one with Smith and Segler. Segler did really well at ground level, gave it off to Jones, but he ran out of space and over the boundary line he goes. 7.5 minutes gone, opening term here at Box Hill City Oval. No score as of yet, in perfect conditions. As the ball spins back into play, Segler might have gotten away with a little push in the back. And we'll get another ball up. That time as Simpson was wrapped up. Plenty of stoppages early on, not too much free-flowing ball movement. Segler again has been busy. Handball a little bit untidy as Machete's dragged down illegally, and he'll take the free kick between half-back and wing.
First year at Box Hill after a stint at Port Melbourne.
I think he's a premiership player, in fact, Daniel Massey.
He'll go down the line right in front of our man Mark Stone today. The ball just hooked late toward the boundary line. It's scored out of play in the end by Nathan Boucher. And a boundary throw in.
Around the grounds, Adam, first goal of the game to Collingwood against Werribee, and also Williamstown have kicked the first goal against the Dolphins.
Casey 1-2-8 leading the Northern Blues yet to score. This one has no score at all, but already an early highlight. One that'll no doubt do the rounds on the socials. Jared Ruffhead turning back the clock. Taking a great mark and just posterised Stefan Oakenborg. We go towards half forward. Ruffhead's involved again here in the contest. Well picked up though there, and just getting the hand pass out was Schlensog. Now it's in the hands of Narkle. Interesting handballing board puts Selwood under pressure. Simpson did well. Brownless next in the chain now is the late inclusion Dowling. Hand pass comes out. Brownless had to meet the body on body there with Ruffhead. Picked up by Kilpatrick. Miles back to Birchall, and he'll combine with his four-time premiership teammate in Jared Ruffhead.
Has it at left half-back, wants to go quickly, but the inboard ball is cut off by Zach Guthrie. Shoots a handball back to Scott Selwood, and the Cats dangerous on the counter-attack as Black takes the mark just inside 50.
Just be mindful of the fact that Caden Brands and Grant Birchall from the fronts look like identical twins almost. It's as a Hawthorn supporter, Michael, it's very confusing for me. They look very similar from long distance. Same body type.
And those extra 8 years with Birchall, we can't quite see those from our vantage point, so that'll be tough for us this afternoon as Black comes in for the first score of the afternoon. It will be a score. Which one is it? It's a minor one. Kicked just a little bit too far out to the right, came back late, but not enough as the Cats get the first score of the afternoon. They lead it 1 behind to no score. We've played 10 minutes in the opening term.
That is Grant Birchall bringing the ball in. Mark taken by Meadows. Has been a mainstay on the VFL list. He's coughed it up though. Target goes in board, and the Cats will get a shot on goal. A shocking turnover by Luke Meadows. Shot on goal coming up for Jackson McLaughlin.
And that kick before by Aaron Black just typified the breeze. The breeze is going exactly where that kick went to. So for me, young McLaughlin will kick the ball to the left-hand goalpost. Not only slightly, but it'll bring it back nicely.
45-degree angle. Will probably kick from about 40. Right forward pocket. Whitehorse Road side of the ground. McLaughlin's kick, it looked like it was off the side of the boot, and he did miss near side. 2 behinds for the Cats. Hawks are yet to score. 11 minutes gone. Round 14 action. Grant Birchall will bring it in for Box Hill.
Again, local knowledge of that ball.
So the Cats might have learned their lesson after those first couple of shots at goal missed to the right, as Hawks able to work it out almost. Brand has it. Still inside defensive 50. Spots something he likes on the outer side, and it was a good kick as well. The mark taken by Meadows, and Box Hill able to get something going on that outer wing, but they will get a free kick. So it's going to be Nanscoen, who's the 23rd man. He goes inboard for Miles. Called to play on, gives it to Birchall, and he'll get back the 1-2. Will Taya Miles. Goes inboard with the kick, and a good mark taken out in front there by Aducci. One way, then the other. He's trying to sum up his options inside forward 50. Found a nest of 3 Hawks, and the mark taken in the end by Meadows.
He can make amends for the turnover inside D50. Only a minute or two ago.
Luke Meadows, a former West Perth player who was been a very good waffle player over the years, made the trip over east to the Box Hill City Oval, and has had a really good season this year for Box Hill. And talk about draft calculations, this young fella.
One of 6 Hawks to play every game so far this season, Luke Meadows. He's been inaccurate in front of the sticks, 3 goals, 7 for the year, but that one's a good one. And Box Hill has the first here. It's 1 straight 6-2 behinds after 12 and a half minutes.
Almost against the flow of play in a way, in terms of the Cats having more time in forward half. Hawks put together one good passage and get a goal as a result.
Yeah, right about that. Box Hill had a lot of play, but Geelong have looked more dangerous in their forward line. But against the flow, against the breeze, so a good start for the Box Hill boys.
So Patrick Dowling's come in last minute for Nathan Kruger. Any word on what happened in the warm-up, Stoney?
No, I just got. It was just one of the team managers said Kruger's out and Dowling's in, so I've got to find out some more information.
Okay, so that's 16 AFL listed Cats out on the ground today, as opposed to 14 Hawthorn players out there. For Box Hill, shallow bounce, but it was good enough. Play restarts, and the Hawks will get the clearance. A very high ball inside 50 off the boot of the skipper Moore. It came off hands, trying to find space out toward the left, but there's all Cats back there. Schlensog's under pressure. Brought down, took a long time to dispose, and it's holding the ball and a free kick. Nathan Mullinger-McHugh with the tackle, but he's tucked up against the pocket.
So my calculations, when he played the Footscray side, he was a backman. So see how he goes here.
He's going to go with the right foot snap and timed it and placed it perfectly to goal for Box Hill. Bang, bang, go the Hawks, and they're leading 2 straight 12. Geelong at 2 behinds. 14 minutes into this opening term here on Hard Jacket, Totally Workwear VFL Live.
I think you mentioned before is the defensive mindset of Box Hill, and they're really shutting down Geelong's forward attacks. And even though Geelong look the dangerous side in the forward line, they're very effective, the Box Hill team, very team orientated, and that's why they've got 2 goals on the board so far.
Blistering start by Taya Miles, already up to 7 disposals, 5 of those are kicks.
Yep, good player.
It's going to be a heavyweight battle in the middle. Abbott and Segler to go at it, and plenty of high-quality midfielders in there as well. Harry Jones, James Cousins, Andrew Moore, Quinton Narkle, James Parsons. So plenty of good players in at this stoppage as we get the restart. Parsons gathers, handball backward for Henderson, coming off a good game last week, 22 disposals, sends the ball inside 50, but only as far as Mashidi for Box Hill. He brings it out wide to Mira, and now Moore, the skipper, has it. Wants to go quickly, and that's because he has Jones in the middle of the ground. He's been busy as well for Box Hill in the early going as he gives it off, and now the ball in front of our broadcast position with Will Golds. Young man out of the Oakley Chargers in his first season on the Hawthorn list. And that's a well-weighted kick inside forward 50. The mark taken by the 23rd man, Jai Nanscoen.
That was a very, very good leap, Stoney, and took that at the high point.
Actually, this is always a TAC player. I'm not sure which TAC cup play. I might want to look that up, boys, but highly rated last year in whichever colour he played for. I can remember the name, actually.
Very little information about this young man going around, Stoney. I tried to find some, but couldn't find much as he comes in from directly in front and kicks his first VFL goal. Look at them get around him.
Yeah, it's a great result, great team play. And seeing Jared Ruffhead, the amount of work he's doing with his teammates. We've seen it a couple of weeks ago highlighted in the media, but he's very effective on-field coaching. You can see him every time the Box Hill, someone makes a mistake or someone does something really good. He went up to that the young fella in when he took the mark and said, just steady and kick a goal. So really good leadership from Joe Ruffhead on field.
That extends to opponents too, Stoney. He's not afraid, not afraid to give the opposition some pointers as well, as we saw with Ruben William at the MCG earlier this year.
I think, Stoney, the way he's embraced coming back to Box Hill has been outstanding. I think one game at AFL since the initial stepping back, he's embraced this role very well and looks like he's actually enjoying it, and that's not a great bounce. Not sure the bouncing is going to last today. It hasn't been great so far as the kick comes toward this broadcast wing. It was claimed by Kennelly, then he was claimed himself by Adushi, and a ball up. Centre wing, broadcast side of the ground, the Bolton Street ends of the grounds here, Box Hill City Oval, perfect day for football. In the middle of winter, ducking underneath the tackle was Kennelly, and then he almost coughed it up. Morrison was there, eventually reclaimed by Boucher for Box Hill. Morrison's little tap, not quite finding Segler. All he did was find Kennelly instead. As the Cats go into attack, and they need a goal all of a sudden. It's bouncing up towards half forward. The long-range handball for Brownless. Had to just wait for it to pop up, and he got brought down as soon as it finally ended up in his hands. And that was when the whistle was blown for a ball upright forward pocket for the Geelong Football Club, who need a goal here. They've given away 3 after a very slow start to this game. Box Hill have gone bang, bang, bang relatively quickly. Ball's just hacked toward the line. It is deliberate out of bounds. The free kick to be claimed by Scott Selwood. Inside 50 for the Cats. They need a mark near the goal square. It falls out the back, and there are Hawks on the last line of the fence. Taya Miles is one of them. Hand pass to Segler. Now to hand pass further wide from Mackey. As the Hawks utilise the outer side of the ground, Jackson Ross takes the mark on the Middleborough Road wing.
Second leading goal kicker in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL this season, Jackson Ross. He's having a very good season, 24 goals, 8, as the Hawks work it just short of half forward, where the mark is paid to Adushi, and his kick not quite onto the chest of Moore. Cats defender got a little fingernail in there, but the Cats will be bailed out. They'll get the free kick. Now Henderson inside defensive 50, has numbers fanning out to the fat side. Selwood and Smith are 2 of those. He picks Selwood, whose kicking board was dangerous momentarily, but Kennelly able to take the mark in front of Nanscombe.
Box Hill has the corridor, so Geelong are just going to have to go out wide.
Little poking pass short is good for Brownless. Son of Billy, of course. One of the most beloved Cats of all time, is the mark taken here by McLaughlin. The Cats happy to go conservative with their ball movement at the moment, as McLaughlin's high ball to a 1-on-3. Abbott did well just to get a hand to that one and see it over the line.
To see that when Geelong were going forward, they have nothing moving inside their forward 50 at all. So that obviously kick was a defensive kick because it went with the breeze and went out of bounds. So that's the wrong pocket this side. It's the area where the breeze is going to.
Approaching time on in the opening term. Box Hill lead at 3 straight to 2 behinds, as a couple of Hawks lay a strong tackle. Cousins and Jones in amongst that. And we'll get a ball up. Selwood on the bottom of the pack. Who else? And he's nicked as well. He'll come off under the blood rule.
Why is that's very funny, that is, actually. A Selwood getting nicked over the eye and getting a cut.
Usually the Selwoods come pre-bandaged, Stoney, but not today with Scott.
Actually, I noticed Ben McAvoy's doing that for the last few weeks, right?
Yes, he has done that as well. He's one who's copped a lot of blood rules over the years. Is ready to get the game underway once again. Right on the paint of forward 50 for Geelong. Plenty of numbers around this footy. It does squirt free, but not very far, and we'll do it all again.
Some foreheads are hard and others are not so hard.
He's Geelong's leading ball getter so far with 6.
And some find themselves in uncompromising situations sometimes, Stoney, as the ball is cleared for Box Hill. Reid did well to get a fist to it. Goes again and tapped it nicely in the direction of Parsons, but his handball just a little bit wayward, and over the line it goes. Hit a little bit of a lull here at Box Hill City Oval early on. The Hawks would have to be happy with their work kicking to the non-scoring end early on. Their goal kicking's been very good, 3 straight goals, and the Cats only been able to muster 2 behinds in the early going as Reed's kick double grabbed by Buzzer.
Now, Willie's a left foot, I think you'll find.
He is.
So he's got to go left-hand goalpost here, and otherwise he'll go skinny. So here we go.
Certainly within range. Leading goal kicker for Geelong's VFL side this year with 18 goals, 8 for the season. Stoney says he needs to start at left, and that's exactly what he does and brings it home beautifully. Cats on the board with a goal.
Yeah, really important goal. They really need that one. We've got, what are we going, 21 minutes into this quarter. They've got the breeze, a 3-goal breeze, and took a nice mark from Willie Buzzer and 2 grabs, but he put it right through the middle. And don't you love left footers when they get the ball and having a shot on goal? Just if it works perfectly, it's magnificent to watch.
3 straight 18, Box Hill leading Geelong 1-2-8. It took them 22 minutes to kick their first goal of the game.
So we're back in the middle. Sun is beaming down over Box Hill City Oval today. The reigning premiers started well. First 3 goals of the game. Cats have now got their first via Wiley Buzzer. Another somewhat wayward bounce. It stays inside the circles though, so play continues. Segler, the hand pass over the top. It was almost a hospital handball there for Mitchington. Now the hand pass out wide from Boucher. Little kick up towards full forward. No mark was taken. Now the rebounding ball lands in the lap of Simpson. Still inside defensive 50. Here's Sam Simpson. The long-ranging ball down the line toward this broadcast wing. It's fisted over the line. Boundary throw in. Buzzer was the target.
So for those listeners who are watching or listening, Sam Simpson, the son of Sean Simpson, the former Geelong champion as he was back in the 80s.
So a boundary throw in. Just getting in front of Segler in the ruck contest there. Was Henderson, ball up, he's called for. Sorry, it was Ryan Abbott in the ruck, in fact. Neither rucks get a hand on that one. Cool, was spun in the tackle, eventually got his hand pass out to Parsons. High ball to half forward. Schlensog potentially just held off it. Mirror escorts it out of play, boundary throw in. Rosie surrounds it very well, does Dave Mirror, former captain of Box Hill before getting onto Hawthorn's list. Of course, the reigning Norm Goss medalist as well, Stoney.
Yep.
Great player at this level.
Yeah, very good player.
Boundary.
State representative.
Boundary throw in. Trying to run past with the ball was Narkle. It does spit out at the last minute. Brownless comes to meet it. And he was brought down by Boucher. Did well to get his hand pass out. Still up for grabs here for the Cats. What does the umpire say here? Was it a high or a push? It doesn't matter.
Too high.
An incorrectly executed tackle results in a free kick going Luke Smith's way.
Former Shep Bears player, and Luke made his way down Geelong to study at Deakin University, and he's been a good player this year for the Cats.
Kicked 66 goals last year for Shepparton. Did Luke Smith, Sony?
Good player and highly sought after by VFL clubs, let me tell you.
Has Jared Roughhead standing the mark. The kick's on the way, and it's true. The Cats go bang bang, and we've got a game of footy here at Coburg, Box Hill City Oval. 3 straight 18, Box Hill, Geelong 2-14. It's the Hawks by 4 points. 25 minutes in.
It's a couple of times you've done that now, Adam. Not used to being on this side of the CBD.
No, definitely not.
Good to see young country footballers come down and have a crack at VFL footy, and Luke's one of those boys that was a very good player in the Golden Valley, and as you said, Michael kicked 66 goals last year from a forward pocket on ball roll. Just you can see that he's got class, and that was a good finish for that goal.
Picked up his fair share of votes in the Goulburn Valley Footy League Best and Fairest Award as well, Stoney. He's a very good young player, as you said, highly sought after amongst VFL clubs. As that bounce will be recalled. You're lucky Adam Sarakoglu didn't have the call that time, because you probably wouldn't have heard any of the next 5 minutes of play. would have just gotten on his high horse as we do get another restart as the Ned Harris, one of the late inclusions, clears for Geelong, rolls it inside forward 50 as that ball not coming free. Buzzer on the top of it. Smith involved once again, and Taya Miles, who's just been everywhere early on, as you said before, Adam. He's been a busy man.
8 touches. Siegler also 8 touches.
We have another stoppage. Taken now for Box Hill. Kick of Mackey was smothered and still inside forward 50 for the Cats. Buzzer lays a strong tackle. And we'll do it all again about 40 metres out from the Cats' goal.
Adam, if you had 3 umpires and one was a really good bouncer, would you give it to the person that could bounce the ball?
It's only logical, isn't it, Stoney? Almost makes too much sense.
You're uncorking the genie here, Stoney. Be careful.
Okay.
Well, you're on the boundary. You don't have to deal with it, but some of us do.
Okay. Well, play on, boys.
The ball locked in once again. We'll get another stoppage. 3 straight plays 2-2. 27 minutes into this opening term. Segler jumped very early. In fact, it was Mullinger McHugh in the ruck. Ball comes out to centre wing. Smith in a foot race with Roughhead. Certainly won't be a stall gift type of foot race as Oakenborg gathers, gives it off, and now the Cats go inside 50 once again. Through the fingertips of Schlensog, still going at ground level. Here are the Cats, and they lock it in.
In front of the jumping castle, Stoney. Might see you there at half-time, and if there is an ice cream van, please point it out.
And I'll get a couple for you boys.
Thank you, Stoney. It's one of those sorts of days today. Umpire throws it up right on 50 here for the Cats. They're a goal away from the lead. Did have the lead earlier with a couple of behinds before the first goal of the game.
I'm going to go into the Geelong huddle at quarter time, just see what Shane O'Brien has to say about, obviously, the first quarter.
Still think it's a 3-goal breeze, Stoney. Looking at the trees around the ground, looks like a fairly still day out there, but you're the one that's outside. We're in the box.
If you go in the middle, it's very different to what is in the boundary line.
Free kick out of the ruck contest, and that is Scott Selwood who sends the Cats inside 50. Brand tried to get a hand on it. Was the mark paid out the back for Mirror? It was. Last line of defence. He'll go short, looking to get the quick break. He goes to Birchall. He's in the white boots and Caden Brand in the black boots. The easiest way to pick them two apart from long distance if you can't see the number. The left foot ball from Birchall. And that's a very good mark by Mullinger McHugh, who's had a very good opening turn. This will be his 6th touch. He's got a goal as well. Mullinger McHugh. Looking to go towards centre wing. He held on to it, had Jarvis on the mark, eventually goes long, but he went to a 2-on-1. Henderson worried out of it. Morrison's hand pass to Ducci. Chance here for the Hawks now. It's Meadows. Hand pass to Roughhead. Further on now, Golds. Little left foot chipper inside 50. Just bounces, stays alive. Boucher tried to get his hand pass out. Good pressure by the Cats. Boundary throw in inside 50 for Box Hill.
Half-time score from the VU Whitten Oval, Adam. It's Footscray 9-3-57, leading Richmond 4-3-27.
Roughhead and Abbott to contest the ruck here. Umpire throws it in. Abbott got the early jump on Roughhead. They'll potentially both looking into the sun. Meadows gets onto the right boot, centres the ball. Ball was fisted away though by Reed. Now Henderson reclaims for the Cats. He goes short. That's okay. The mark is taken by Schlensog. Just inside defensive 50 still. His short pass a little further wide. Finds Henderson. Deep left half back. Henderson sends his kick down the line right on the quarter time siren. Pretty good quarter of footy, that one. It's Box Hill 3 straight 18, leading Geelong at 2-14.
Yeah, as you said, Adam, a pretty good first quarter. We'll just run through some goal kickers before going to a break. For Box Hill, it's all singles. In fact, it's all singles out there on the ground for the Hawks. Meadows, Mullinger McHugh and Jai Nanskoen, the 23rd man, kicking his first goal on debut. And for the Cats, just the 2 single goal kickers, Wiley Buzzer and also Luke Smith.
We'll take a break here on Hard Jacket. Totally Workwear, VFL Live, Box Hill 3 straight 18, Geelong 2-14. We'll have a look at the stats right after this, and we'll go to Stoney as well, who we think is going to get Shane O'Brien out of the Geelong huddle.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Well, a very good game of football so far here at Box Hill City Oval. It's quarter time between the Hawks and Geelong at 3 straight 18. Box Hill, Geelong have kicked 2-14, all single goal kickers. Luke Meadows, Nathan Mullinger, McHugh and Jay Nance Cowan for Box Hill. For Geelong, Wiley Buzzer and Luke Smith are your goal kickers. Both teams are in the huddles as we speak. Adam Sarikoglu, Michael Pepicelli has some individual and team stats. It's a quarter time thanks to the VFL app and Champion Data.
Certainly do, Adam, and it was a strange first quarter in terms of the team statistics. Box Hill dominating possession, but Geelong dominating inside 50s. The Cats had 97 disposals. Box Hill had 97 disposals, I should say, in that opening turn to the Cats 71, but Geelong dominated the inside 50s 18-7. However, the Cats only able to generate 2 goals out of those 18 inside 50s, with the breeze as well, we should add, kicking to the White Horse Road end of the ground. But the Hawks a lot more efficient going inside 50 as we flick over to the individual stats. John Segler has responded well to his demotion from the AFL side. He's the leading disposal winner on the ground with 8 and also has 12 hitouts to go along with them. And Taya Miles, who we also spoke about in that first term, he has 8 disposals as well. Scott Selwood leading the way for the Cats with 8 and Parsons has 7.
Let's go around the grounds. Footscray look like they're about to hand at Richmond, only its second loss of the season, and this is a top 4 clash, Michael, so this is a big win potentially coming up for Footscray. 9-4-58 the Dogs. Richmond's a 5-3-33. Stoney, feel free to cut us off whenever you get Shane O'Brien. I think you've got him now.
Yeah, Shane, how'd you see it from the coach's box in that first quarter? It's a really interesting game.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, they went forward three entries there, 3 marks, so we obviously want to stop them. They're very good with their entry method, but I thought overall, we were up for the fight, and we implemented a few things we wanted to do defensively, and got on top there, back up the quarter and scored from it.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thank you, Stoney. Let's go around the grounds. Quarter time in all these other games. Collingwood a good start against Werribee 5-2-32. Tigers 2-3-15. Frankston leading Williamstown. That's an interesting one. 3-3-21 the Dollies. Seagulls 2-1 at 13. And the Northern Blues, another potential surprise where the Blues are leading at Casey 5-1-31. So 3-6-24 in an accurate first term for Casey.
Yeah, that's right, Adam, as the players just making their way to their positions and awaiting the final few spectators to make their way off the ground. Probably heard the gate being bolted there to the ground as just awaiting. It's a 4-point lead here for the Box Hill Hawks. They've been far more efficient going inside 50 and kicking with what we believe to be the scoring end in this second term. They'll be hoping to keep that momentum going. The Cats sitting at 2-2. Might have squandered a little bit of an opportunity, but they do have a potent forward line. So we'll see how they go as this second term unfolds. It's the Hawks with a 4-point lead as we get underway. Segler flips it over the top beautifully for Jones, and the Hawks win the clearance through Meadows. Reed had it slip through his fingertips. Now gathered by Aducci inside forward 50, looking for Roughhead. Got a hand to it. Walker just overran it initially, but not able to gather as Segler charges in and forces a stoppage.
When the breeze does pick up, and it is going towards the scoreboard, the right of the dial, the southern end, really is a 2 or 3 goal breeze.
Blue skies here at Box Hill City Oval as a quick snap comes and it bounces through for a goal. Plenty of numbers around that footy.
Let me have a wait till see the player turns around. See the player that scored that goal then. Snap out of the pack and...
That's right, Stoney. Plenty of numbers around that footy, but the Box Hill Hawks out to a 10-point lead now. 4 straight 24 to 2-2-14, and Harry Jones was the goal kicker.
Was it Harry Jones? There you go.
Had a good game. He started well, and that goal just adds to his dominance so far in this game. Coming off a 28-touch game last week, he's one for Hawthorn fans to get excited about.
So Box Hill did kick the first 3 goals of the game, and they've now broken a 2-goal streak from the Cats. We're back in the middle. Another woeful bounce. Why we're persisting with it, I don't know. As the players reset into their...
He's up and about, Stoney.
Starting formations.
Play on.
Umpire throws it up. Segler got the early jump. Another great tap down. This time it goes down to the goal kicker in Jones, and Box Hill are back inside 50. Roughhead just dropped the mark inside the pocket as Walker hand pass out at Ducci, picked off by Parsons. He takes a daring bounce, gets around Morrison, little chipper over the top, ball on the Middleborough Road wing. Good kick. Tarka keeps it moving for Geelong. The kick toward half forward, looking for Abbott, but Mirror takes it one-handed. Read it better in flight, did Dave Mirror.
He's a good player.
The king of Box Hill. Here we go, short to Birchall. Grant Birchall, second game back after a long layoff. He goes with the short pass, still inside defensive 50. Mercedes holds on to it. Birchall provided the hand pass option, but Mercedes held on to it, went longer still. Segler to target.
Free kick to Segler.
Reed went down and gave away the free kick apparently. Segler, hand pass off. This is Meadows, left football towards half forward. Diving for it was Okunbor. Henderson reclaims for the Cats. Hand pass out to no one in particular. As Morrison's brought down, still inside the field of play. Little chipper over the top from Selwood. That's punched away by Damien Mercedes. Boundary throw in, the golden brown fist if you like.
The ruck dominance of the Box Hill team and defensive setup and the team aspects of the Box Hill playing really good at the moment, playing very good football.
Into the car park that fist was, and someone's fancy looking sports car might have just copped a little bit of a dint there from the footy as we get a free kick out of the ruck. I'm hoping that's not yours, Adam, as Smith takes the kick and finds Parsons short.
You know very well what I'm driving, Michael, and it's definitely not a sports car.
Well, you might have upgraded in the last couple of weeks. I'm not too sure as the ball comes towards half forward. No mark taken by Smith. Had a piece of it, though, and now at ground level, forced to apply the pressure, which he does.
We're not doing that well at Windy Hill.
4 straight 24 to 2-2-14 in favour of the Hawks. 4 minutes into this second term. The Hawks have made good use of the scoring end so far, as ball just pinging around in amongst a few players. Eventually, the umpire does intervene.
For the game, Geelong's got to get a goal here, I reckon.
They've been doing a lot right in general play, Stoney. They're dominating the inside 50 count, but just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. They might get a chance to go in again here as Parsons gathers the handball received, gives it off to Selwood, who weaved his way through some traffic, then threw the ball away. And, well, the Box Hill Hawks just defending very well at the moment. Harry Jones to take the free kick in his left back pocket. No short options, so sets it up along the wing. The big fly came from Oakenbaugh, and he didn't even get a hand to the footy, so that'll be a Box Hill free kick.
Middleborough Road side of the ground. The free kick to be taken by Mullinger McHugh. Had a good opening term. He's going to cut back inboard. Short pass is okay for Mackie. He goes further back for Brandt. Buried deep inside Geelong's forward 50. Coughs up the ball. Mark is taken here by Aaron Black. The mark is right on 50.
Okay.
Goes short, Stoney to Tarka.
I was going to say, if he was going to have a shot, he could tell how the breeze is if having shot from there. Even from here.
Might call this to Jared Roughhead pocket for the rest of the day after taking a screamer in the opening term. Tarka's ball from 49. It's a well-hit ball, and it just makes the distance. Segler got a hand on it, but not until the entirety of the Sherrin was over the goal line, and the Cats get one back. 3-2-20, playing 4 straight, 24, 6 gone, second term. Hardjacker, Totally Workwear, VFL Live.
Really good shot on goal. That used the breeze really nicely and made it come from left to right, and as you said, just made it over the line. That's all it needs to do, and a really good goal.
James Parsons up to 11 disposals, leading ball getter on the ground now for Geelong. Segler and Jones each have 9 for the Hawks.
Setting up play really well. Parsons off half back too, and instrumental in that goal, really, I think.
Had plenty of it last week, did Parsons. 28 disposals to lead the Cats as they got a nice win over the Northern Blues by 14 points. He's one who's really been on the fringe of AFL selection for probably the best part of 18 months now. Just hasn't been able to consistently get himself an AFL game, and he wins another possession here. Gives it off to Selwood. Long ball inside 50. Was buzzer being held? He was. Jacob Kajitsky infringing on that occasion. Cousin of Justin, of course. Young man in his first year in the AFL system, and Wiley Buzzer has the strength advantage in that matchup.
So when they get the ball inside, they look really dangerous to Geelong forwards, and this is another opportunity to get another goal closer, so we need this goal.
Looms is the danger man for the Hawks this afternoon. Does Wiley Buzzer. He comes in from directly in front and misses. He'll be disappointed in that effort. Just slid it out to the left for his first behind of the afternoon. 1 goal, 1 now for him, and 3 goals, 3 for the Cats. They trail it by 3 points.
Mercedes ran out of the goal square, ran toward the broadcast side of the ground, looking for Segler. It's stuck in the mitts. He took a nice mark in front of Abbott. Hand pass off. Kilpatrick goes inboard. Cousins next in the chain for Box Hill.
Do you reckon Kilpatrick's nickname be Oysters?
That's what I'd call him, Stoney.
Gets onto the right foot. Kick goes towards half forward again. Segler's there. Went up for it. No mark was taken. Mitchington helped it onto Ross. Box Hill inside 50. Roughhead's got the one-on-one. Kept it to ground level. Gets the tackle on Gore. Maybe still a chance here as Walker picked up for Box Hill. It was lost and eventually reclaimed. The kick comes out wide and Black takes the mark. The Cats get out of danger. The kick came from Cannerley as Geelong are now going to work the outer side of Box Hill City Oval. Target jumps. No mark taken there on Mirror. Ground level ball. Brownless involved for Geelong. It's pinned at the bottom of a number of players. Ball up just forward of centre wing. Outer side for Geelong. As Abbott nominates as the ruck. Segler coming across now. Ball is thrown up. Claimed by Abbott. Very vertical kick. Stays in play. Helped over the line in the end by Harry Morrison. He was in battle with Ned Harris. Boundary throw in.
We talk about Jared Roughead a lot, Stoney, but the way he contested 1-on-2 in the forward line earlier and then attacked the ball at ground level, we can't speak highly enough of the way he's acquitted himself since coming back to VFL level.
You can't teach that stuff.
Just shows a true mark of the character Jared Roughead is, as the ball spills out and lots of numbers around it. It won't come out. We'll get another ball up.
You think he would go into coaching once his footy career finished, wouldn't you? Like, you'd have to be development or something young. Like Hawthorn would be crazy. Well, it's up to them, but you know, I'd be sort of trying to keep him around when his footy career finished.
You'd have to think there'd be 18 AFL clubs lining up for his services when he decides to call it quits. 282 AFL games, as we mentioned before. Looks like he might not get to 300, which would be sad, but certainly wouldn't diminish his career and his impact on the Hawthorn Footy Club as the Box Hill Hawks clear through Machidi, sends it towards half forward. No mark taken. I think it's Walker at ground level. The crumb, the snap, and the goal. That was really impressive front and square stuff from Matt Walker. He's another one with a lot of X factor. And that's through for Box Hill's 5th of the afternoon. They're yet to miss. 5 straight 30, plays 3-3-21.
And on that, you can put that goal down to young Adushi, who went up, obviously below size. He wasn't as big as his Geelong opponent, but hit the ball to the ground, the front and square, and a goal. So young Adushi, well done. You get a score assist because that's your goal, son.
Gold sticker.
He's one a lot of Hawthorn fans are really keeping an eye on, Matt Walker, and he's not a big disposal winner, but he can do things like that. Perfect crumb on that occasion.
It's a 9-point ball game at Box Hill City Oval. Hawks leading the Cats. Always good footy when Hawks and Cats come together. As we're back live. Box Hill trying to work their way out of some congestion. Miles eventually emerges, takes a bounce in the middle of the ground, and then the right foot ball. Great ball. It was a lovely kick, Stoney. And Jared Roughead takes the mark on the lead in front of Jarvis.
Taya Miles, well done, young man. That was brilliant. And caught Ruffy moving forward out the corner of his eye. And an inside-outside kick, just a perfect position for the kick on goal.
It was textbook footy. And now Jared Roughead. We're talking about him a lot. What he hasn't done yet today is kick a goal, and now he has. Good finish by Ruffy. And Box Hill get back-to-back goals. 6 straight, 36. Geelong 3-3-21. We're equal for score shots, and yet the Box Hill Hawks lead by 15.
See, centre clearances, I'm not sure where they are at the moment, but Zach Smith, I think, won that tap out, but Box Hill around the packs are doing quite well, and it's really determining the game, who's getting the ball over the middle.
You might have heard in our effects, Mike, the crowd they always seem to get up and about whenever Ruffy's near the ball, and I dare say that was the most loudly cheered goal so far this afternoon. A much-loved figure, and he extends the Hawks' lead to 15 points.
And Stoney,
go on.
Segler, 18 hit-outs. Smith and Abbott combined 12 for Geelong.
Yeah. He's dominating at the moment. Against AFL-listed ruckman is John Segler. His second VFL game of the season as Narkle was pushed off it. Simpson in, laying a good tackle on Mullinger McHugh.
You know, it's really great to see, we talk about Ruffy and Lockie Henderson playing at full back. So 2 players that have a lot of experience at AFL level playing full forward, full back. It's just a great sight.
13 minutes gone, second term. The Hawks are going to get another clearance, despite Zach Smith winning the hit out on that occasion. Cousins overran it, though, which allowed McLaughlin to come in, and not difficult to take that young man high.
No.
Just pokes it out wide. Left half back here for the Cats. Long high ball up the wing. Buzzer did well to contest. Narkle at ground level. Fended off an opponent beautifully. And then McLaughlin sold a little candy and got the kick away before Mira fists it away. 6 straight plays, 3-3. Round 14 action. Hard Yakka, Totally Workwear, VFL Live. And it's Box Hill with a 15-point lead as Mullinger McHugh, undersized on that occasion, wins the hit out. And another clearance for Box Hill, but this one intercepted. McLaughlin, helicopter towards half forward, but a good defensive mark taken by Liam Mackey.
Kilpatrick is desperately asking for it to his right, but he's ignoring that, looking toward the corridor instead. Mackey finally asked to play on. High ball toward the wing in Segler territory. No mark was taken. Off hands quickly. Ross to an empty half forward line. It bounces away from Walker. Does look to pick it up now. Left it behind. Ross was there for Box Hill. Rushed it inside 50. Foot race for the ball. And the Cats had numbers. Oakenball needs to get rid of it. Kick toward the middle of the ground. Coughs it up. It's picked off by Grant Birchall. Quickly gets it moving. Little kick. Goes out wide. Mark taken by Miles. He goes further to his left. It's now Mercedes that has it. Too far out to score, the Port Melbourne Premiership player. He'll be asked to hurry up. Mercedes throws it onto the right foot. In toward the pocket. A couple of Cats went up. No mark was taken. Smith. Hand pass to Guthrie. He'll get the hand pass going over the top for Brownless. The right football back towards centre wing. Buzzer in the one-on-one. Read it well in flight. Took the mark against Kazitsky. Wally Buzzer goes in board. That's okay. Not sure it was intended that time for Keneally, but he did take the mark, and the Cats now happy to chip on the outer wing. In the hands currently of Black. They'll go inside 50 now. Buzzer the target, sandwiched by a couple of Hawks. Off hands, a long-range handball. Cats trying to get an avenue to goal. Smith's ball towards the top of the square. Morrison in position A takes the relieving mark for Box Hill.
Played 9 AFL games this season, has Harry Morrison, and looked really impressive at times as he kicks for Segler at half back. Had it thumped away from him by Black, and the ball ends up out of play. 16 minutes gone, second term here at Box Hill City Oval. The sun is out, the sky is blue. It's a beautiful day for footy, and the Hawks leading it by 15 points. 6 straight plays, 3-3 as the ball's tossed back in. Taken nicely by Mackey. Blind turned around a couple, then got his kick away, but that's where it falls apart for Box Hill. Oakenbaugh, one way then the other before getting a handball away, and he's turned it over. We'll get a stoppage. 3 goals to 1 goal 1 in this term in favour of the Hawks. They are kicking to the White Horse Road end of the ground, which we believe to be the scoring end, as Oakenbaugh takes it again. High ball towards forward 50. Buzzer has the strength advantage, but he infringes on Kazitsky on that occasion. And Jacob Kazitsky will have the free, gives it off by hand to Miles, has Mira leading to him in his defensive goal square, and that's where he goes. So Mira takes a bounce unnecessarily in the last line of defence before giving it off to Miles, and now Meadows has it for Box Hill and has a short option over the top. That's Morrison.
Backing themselves by foot at the moment are Box Hill. We've become accustomed to that over the years in brown and gold as Morrison's kick. There's more Cats than Hawks around this. Oakenbaugh flew. Did well to gather his own crumb as well. Hand pass off. Smith ripped off it without the ball. In fact, the umpire said he did have the ball and didn't dispose of it, holding the ball, and a free kick for Damien Mercedes. That right half back for Box Hill as Mercedes points down the line looking for Jonathan Segler. Has Zach Smith got rid of him and took the mark. Did well on the one-on-one there, did Jonathan Segler. Awkward ball toward 50. It's fisted away by Jarvis, but picked out Roughhead, standing start, left foot ball in board, just a little bit too hot for Nance Cowan. Still up for grabs here for Box Hill. Just eluded Walker. Out the back it comes, and the clearing ball for the Cats. It's bouncing toward the outer side. Mirror got rid of his man in Reed. Now Mirror's got a battle against Buzzer, but he's happy to see it out of play. Boundary throwing at the intersection of Middleborough Road and Whitehorse Road.
What a glorious day for football today. It is just magnificent.
Special comments from Mark Stone.
You timed your break very nicely, Stoney. It wasn't a great day to be on the boundary last week.
No.
Trevor Barker Beach Oval, windy at the best of times, let alone...
Well, I know in you, Stoney, it wasn't a break. You would have been busy with other commitments.
It was.
As Narkle clears for Geelong. Sends it towards half forward over the heads of Buzzer and Kajitsky. And Mirror happy to see it over. Almost into time on in this second term. 19 minutes and 15 seconds gone. Box Hill 6 goals straight, leading Geelong 3-3-21. As the ball is tossed back in. Neither ruckman got a decisive hit out. Dean Gore playing his first game since round 1. Pulled off his kick, and the ball is cleared for Box Hill. A foot race. Henderson needs to be good here against Roughhead. The attack on the footy was brilliant by Ruffy. Back in he goes. Good forward pressure from the big man, and we'll get a stoppage.
Brant for
Mirror.
Coming on the go for Mirror.
15-point lead for Box Hill, and it's inside their forward 50. Smith takes clean possession and just gets Boots a ball to try and gain some meterage. Didn't get it too far. And that's where it will come to an end. The umpire crosses his arms.
Round of grounds leads for Footscray, Collingwood, Williamstown and the Northern Blues.
Here at Box Hill City Oval, it's the Hawks by 15 points as Zach Smith wins himself a free. Been named an AFL emergency on many an occasion this season, and he is again for tonight's game as Parsons takes the mark, but his kick straight down the throat of Segler. Has options out wide, broadcast side, but didn't really find any of them, and Jermaine Jones was the man who ended up with the footy for Geelong. Selwood plays the 1-2 game with Kennelly, and now the mark taken in the middle of the ground by Brownless.
He was right in the middle of Box Hill City Oval, goes wide. Schlensog next in the chain for the Cats. Out of wing. Carter Hawkins indeed, sir. Good win by Hawthorn last night against Michael Peppercelli's mob. It's Guthrie that has it, inside 50. Front of the cricket nets here. Just caught behind that time was Buzzer. Ground level Reed was brought down pretty quickly and taken high according to the umpire. Free kick for the Cats in front of the cricket nets here on the outer side.
Puts himself in the right spot there, Luke Smith, to get a free kick and a shot on goal. This would be, how far out, boys? I'm too far away to see at the moment.
He will kick from 40 to 45.
So he might take his best effort here.
Haven't really seen too many shots on goal from this portion of the ground yet today.
It's a hard pocket, this one too.
Luke Smith did kick a goal late in the first quarter. Looking into the sun, right football's on the way. He's threaded it beautifully, has he? No, just across the face. And a minor score for the Cats. First score we've had in a while. 3-4-22 Geelong, Box Hill, 6 straight 36. We're into time on at second term, and Grant Birchall yet again has the kicking in duties for Box Hill.
First score in just over 10 minutes, Adam. As you said, it had been a while as Birchall's kick is long and wide. Jones read it well off hands for Box Hill. Spins a helicopter towards centre wing. Henderson had it bounce off his chest, gathered by Ross, but recovers well to smother does Lockie Henderson, and the ball's over the boundary line right in front of the benches, where a flurry of changes comes through. 14-point lead to the Hawks, almost 23 minutes gone in quarter number 2. Segler and Abbott go at it. Neither of them really wanted the footy. They were more interested in wrestling. Selwood gives it off to Dowling. Now Oakenbaugh in trouble. Don't know if he disposed of that properly, but he gives it off to Ruffy, who can sum up his options and just shank it across the face of goal. Might have been caught in two minds. The pressure also was good from the Cats, which might have affected the kick, and they're able to rebound now through Gore. Has numbers on the outer side, one of those black, and he takes the mark.
Just holds things up a little bit. He'll go inboard now. A little scrubber kick. Didn't quite reach Harris on the full. Cats still maintain possession though. It's in the hands of Smith. A couple of spectators sitting on the little bench there on the outer side. Kick towards half forward. Schlensog goes up, brings it down. Dewell's Brand lost his footing. Schlensog too far out to score. Goes back toward the corridor. Another touch for Smith. Quiet little piece of play here. It's very quiet today at Box Hill City Oval, even when Box Hill kick goals in the opening term. At least from where we are, as Guthrie goes inside 50. Nice ball for Buzzer, who can go back and kick his second.
And well done by Selwood then, who held his Box Hill opponent at bay so Buzzer could run out of the footy.
So a goal will bring the margin down to 8 points as we approach half-time. Wiley Buzzer, slide angle or kick from 30 metres. For his second goal of the game, hits the post.
He,
almost over-kicked it, Stoney.
His goal kicking, I watched the game against Frankston too. He was disappointing with his goal kicking. It's something he's really got to work on, because there's two goals that he should have had were gimmies basically, and he's hit obviously 2 points there.
He rattled the left goal post, 3-5-23 Geelong, trailing Box Hill 6 straight 36.
Kicking up the middle is dangerous. Selwood went with the double fist, perhaps could have taken the mark, as Minchington now drives it towards half forward. Roughhead did well to slap it away from Oakenbaugh. Slap towards goal. It's going to be a foot race, but the boundary line wins out. Would have been the 32-year-old Jared Roughhead against the youngster in Oakenbaugh. I think the Irishman would have liked his chances on that occasion, but the ball bounced over the boundary line. 25 and a half minutes into quarter number 2. It's a 13-point ball game. As Roughhead goes at it with Abbott. Might have won it down too. One front position taken by Minchington. Gives it off to Moore, his skipper. He just screws it around the body to a dangerous spot, hoping for the best. Gathered by Aducci, but tackled immediately. No prior opportunity there, and we'll get a ball up. Harry Jones, the leading disposal winner on the ground. He has 14 to go along with a first quarter goal. He's been everywhere as Roughhead takes it out of the ruck and slams it through for a behind.
That's 2 shanks now for Rough.
First minor score of the afternoon for the Hawks. 6-1-37 now. They are playing Geelong 3-5-23.
So this is the first kick in we've seen Geelong take, and it's Jarvis who comes toward this broadcast side of the ground, the Mark Stone side of the ground. Mirror gets it back for Box Hill. The chipper just goes inside 50, but in the right spot was Dowling. Took the relieving mark for Geelong. Kick inboard's okay for Narkle. He wants Abbott. They've gone outside D50 now, Geelong. Abbott took the mark in front of Roughhead. In 2 minds, he goes along to the contest. Schlensog is the biggest cat there, but Siegler came across and picked it off for Box Hill. Gets it back for the Hawks. Siegler having an outstanding game so far.
12 disposals for him, Adam.
He's also taken 5 marks. It's Mercedes that has it at the moment for Box Hill. In front of the main grandstand, he goes towards half forward. One-handed attempt by Mullinger. McHugh has been paid the mark. Second bite of the cherry and did take it. Kicked a goal in at the opening term near the former Footscray Bulldog.
Now, he won't have local knowledge, but he's probably trained here during the pre-season. So, left-hand goalpost. The breeze is going to the right-hand side post, so we'll see where we go.
In front of the main Box Hill change rooms as well, so you'd expect this is where most of the goal kicking practice occurs. Yep. Nathan Mullinger McHugh, the hyphen, missed it to the left, to the right instead. So it's another blemish to Box Hill's score. They're second behind in a row, 6-2-38, playing at 5-3, 3-5-23.
As the Cats having a little bit of trouble from the kick in, and They're bailed out by the siren. And at halftime here on Hard Yakka, Totally Workwear VFL Live, it's Box Hill 6-2-38, leading Geelong 3-5-23. Adam, before we go to a break, give us the goal kickers.
All singles: Jared Roughhead, Matt Walker, Harry Jones, Luke Meadows, Nathan Mullinger McHugh and Jay Nance Cowan are your goal kickers for Box Hill. For Geelong, one each to Wiley Buzzer, Jake Tarker and Luke Smith. We'll take a break here at Box Hill City Oval. It is a 15-point lead for Box Hill, 6-2-38. Geelong at 3-5-23. We'll have more after this.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live, sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. Just got my wires crossed there with the microphones. Where it is Box Hill 6-2-38, leading Geelong 3-5-23. An evenly played first half in terms of general play, but the Hawks have been much more efficient going inside forward 50, and that's why they find themselves with a 15-point lead. We've got the halftime interview coming up shortly, but first I just want to run through a few individual player stats before we head to that interview. And well, for Box Hill, it's Harry Jones leading the way. He has 14 disposals to go along with 4 tackles and a goal. He's been a very good player today and throughout the season, really, and you'd have to think he might be in line for an AFL debut at some stage. John Segler, the man who's been demoted from the AFL team for today's game. He's picked up 13 disposals to go along with 6 marks and 20 hitouts. And Taya Miles has also collected 13 for the Hawks, another prolific player for Box Hill on the afternoon. Looking over at the Geelong side of the equation, James Parsons and Scott Selwood each leading the way with 13 touches apiece. Selwood has the 6 tackles to go along with those 13 disposals. And Quinton Narkle, who made his return from a long injury layoff last week, has picked up right where he left off with 12 disposals this afternoon. As we just flick over to the team stats, it's evened up a little bit in terms of the inside 50 count. Geelong still have had more inside 50s. They have had 23, but the Hawks have had 20, with Box Hill also a big advantage in terms of number of disposals as well. So an entertaining contest so far. Really looking forward to see what Geelong can do with the scoring end as we head into the third term. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the halftime interview for this week's round 14 edition of Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live is with Nick Rippon of the North Melbourne Footy Club. Of course, a JJ Liston Trophy winner back in 2015 with the equal lowest number of votes since 1990. An interesting fun fact that's been given to me. So, of course, used to play with North Ballarat as well, and played his 100th VFL game just last week. So he's been a very good player, has Nick Rippon, for a couple of different VFL clubs. And here he is speaking on the VFL Hour on 11:16 SEN with Sam Hargraves and Anthony Stangetz.
Get involved in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Visit vfl.com.au.
Taken him a while. He had to wait this year due to injury to bring up game 100 in the VFL, but he played it on the weekend. It's a very good evening to North Melbourne's Nick Rippon. Good evening and welcome to the program, Nick.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you going?
Going well. What was it like, that wait for game 100? You got so close, sitting on 99, injured, and then you had to wait till the weekend. What was it like finally running out there for game 100?
Yeah, extremely proud moment for myself personally. Playing 100 games in the VFL, it was like you say, a long wait, longest wait in my career I've had due to injury, unfortunately, in the 99th game. But finally getting to run out and reach that milestone was a pretty proud moment.
And not a bad return in your first game, 33 disposals and 12 tackles. Yeah, it was perfect conditions for a player like myself coming from Ballarat, and so it suited me well. First game back, a lot of stoppages. I didn't have to do too much running, which was good as well in the body. But I was happy to play well in the milestone game. You mentioned about injury. Obviously, it hasn't affected you too much in the career. How did you go with the recovery and getting yourself back ready to another tilt at another VFL game?
It was obviously a different experience for me personally. Longest sort of stint on the sidelines for me, 10 weeks. So bit of a different year, and it was something sort of opened my eyes a bit about players that are in rehab, and a bit more respect for people that have done long-term injuries. But I guess it was a bit frustrating as well for myself. Usually something I haven't really done before. So. It certainly made me miss the game that I've played for so long, and I was happy to get back out there after a long stint.
Nick, you've had a pretty, I suppose, you've had a pretty successful footy career to date. You're a JJ Liston Trophy winner, and you played a lot of footy for North Ballarat when they were in the VFL, and unfortunately they finished up, and you've made the move to North, where you were their inaugural best and fairest winner last year in the VFL. Where are your footy goals now set? Are you still striving to try and make AFL, or are you just trying to be the best VFL player you can be? What are your footy goals at this stage of your career?
Look, certainly I think until I hang up the boots in the VFL, I'll slightly keep the door ajar to hopefully getting on an AFL list. Obviously I'm a realist as well, and realise that might not happen. My focus now is probably to try and win a premiership if I can, with the club that I'm at currently, or whether that's somewhere else down the track. But yeah, certainly team success is probably, a goal of mine. But I haven't really had much success team-wise in the VFL throughout my career, so I think I might have only played about maybe 3 or 4 finals games over the journey. So certainly team success is something that's been on my mind and will continue to be there.
Is that something that you've discussed with North Melbourne? Was that part of you going there? I'm sure you would have had a few offers to go to a few different clubs, but did you settle on North Melbourne in the VFL because of the pathway there, and is it something that you've discussed with the club?
Certainly my decision to go to North Melbourne was based on hopefully potentially getting on the AFL list, that's for sure. I thought it was a good avenue to try. I've been at a standalone club with North Ballarat for the past 5 seasons, and obviously that didn't really achieve what I was looking for in regards to getting on a list. And I thought, this might be another opportunity in a different limelight underneath the eyes of an AFL club. So that was a main reason I came up, and also the coach in David Loader, I had a good relationship with him throughout my TAC Cup years. He coached me, so that was another driving factor that brought me to the club.
And Nick, returning from injury, did you make sure you timed it around the time that North Melbourne was returning to the screens of Channel 7 this weekend?
Yeah, I'd penciled that date in a long time ago. That was another reason to get back. Yeah, looking forward to it this weekend. Should be good.
How have you found the facility upgrades at Arden Street for this season, and a couple of the home games being played there now? How are you finding the facility, and what's it like as a training venue as well?
It's absolutely outstanding for VFL players and AFL alike. It's the best I've obviously been in, and recent facilities like the rehab and ice baths and sauna, steam room, that sort of stuff. It's certainly very professional the way they've gone about things, and the ground itself is in great condition, and looking forward to showcasing that on the weekend against Sandy.
Nick, you're at the club now, and it's been a tumultuous year for the club when Brad Scott decided to step down and Rhys Shaw stepped up to take the reins as caretaker coach, and that does have a ripple effect down through the whole club, and obviously the VFL side is a part of the club. What effect, if any, did that have on you guys and the way in which you were sort of set up and structured? Did it flow down at all?
Yeah, there's already been changes, since Rhys has come in, and it's filtered down into our playing group. We've averaged about 12 to 15 players, AFL players each week, so it's a fair majority of the AFL list is on our team, and the structures and the setups have already been filtered down, and it's already starting to show on the field. We had a pretty good, strong performance on the weekend, although we didn't win, so it's looking up from now. Hopefully we can continue the progress that Brett has already brought in.
And Nick, you're playing Sandringham this weekend, aligned with the St Kilda Football Club, and one of your old Roosters teammates that started his time in the VFL once he was selected by St Kilda in Rowan Marshall. What's it like seeing his progress, turning himself into what is now probably the number one ruckman running around for the Saints this season?
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. I was pretty close with Rowan up in Ballarat. Obviously, he was putting it down my throat most weeks as a junior. So, really pleased with him. He's a top guy, and like a lot of ruckmen that sort of slip through, they take a while to develop, and he's coming on in leaps and bounds, which is great to see, and really happy for him.
Nick Rippon, we're very happy to see you performing so well too, and get that 100-game milestone that took a little while in the making, but to get there on the weekend and to do it in style too. I think you had about 33 disposals, as Anthony mentioned a little earlier. Thanks for having a chat to us on the VFL Hour, and good luck with the long-term goal of getting yourself on an AFL list. We hope that can come true for you soon.
Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go, Nick Rippon on the VFL Hour on 11:16 SEN. He's the 2015 JJ Liston Trophy winner. Of course, we thank him for joining Sam Hargraves and Anthony Stanigitz on the VFL Hour. It is half-time at Box Hill City Oval. Plenty of spectators out having a kick as we speak. Box Hill are leading this one 6-2, 38. Geelong 3-5. 23. Before we take another break and get set for the third term, let's have a look at what's going on around the grounds. Halfway into the last term between Footscray and Richmond, 11-6-72. Footscray are leading Richmond 6-8-44. 21-point lead for Collingwood over Werribee at half-time. Seagulls lead the Dolphins by 17 at half-time. And in the other game at Casey Fields, a half-time lead of 13 points for the Northern Blues over Casey. We'll take a break here from Box Hill City Oval. Third term coming up right after this.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
Your hard yakka Totally Workwear VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
All set to go for the third term here at Box Hill City Oval. It's currently the Hawks 6-2-38, leading Geelong 3-5-23. Adam Sarri-Coglu, Michael Peppicelli's working his way back to the box, and I think we might actually have Mark Stone boundary side as we speak. Stoney, interesting first half. Box Hill making better use of their opportunities inside forward 50. It's 8 scoring shots apiece. What have you made of the first hour of football so far?
Yeah, I think it's defensive aspects of team play with David Mirror, Brandt down back is the reason, and obviously the dominance of John Sigler in the ruck has allowed it. Just played better as a team, I reckon, in this first half. Geelong won't have to do much, just tweak and get it in hands more on the ball. Obviously contested football is really important. Geelong want to get this first goal in this third quarter, I reckon, to sort of give a bit of impetus back to the scoreboard, but give a bit of confidence. So I think that Geelong haven't played at their best, and I think Box Hill are the better team. Obviously, at this moment, they're in front of the scoreboard.
Michael Pipicelli has rejoined us as well. I was just roaming around the grounds at half-time, Stoney, and I spotted the 2013 Premiership coach of Box Hill in Damien Carroll. He was lurking. It was against this very club that Box Hill won that flag against in Geelong. He's around today.
Yeah, they've got their former coaches. Obviously, it's like a transition from their VFL to the AFL system. Marco Bello, obviously, was with one coach Box Hill at one stage, Max Bailey now, but they certainly have a system where they increase and go up the ladder, and it's good to see that happens as development with their coaches and moving forward.
Of course, 2013 was a significant year for Max Bailey as well, where he collected his one and only AFL Premiership medal. Third term underway. Here's Michael Pipicelli.
It'll be Segler and Smith to renew hostilities as we get started in this third term, with Box Hill leading by 15 points. Narkle had the first outside disposal, but he turned it over, and a shot comes for Box Hill. It's bouncing in the goal square. Henderson there, though. He can mop up for the Cats, and a calm head in defence for Geelong. Finds Jones at right half back. Just assesses his options before going short, before Parsons takes a nice mark over the head of Moore.
I like Parsons as a player, and he's all right.
One of the leading disposal winners out there for the Cats is James Parsons. That's disposal number 14, but not his best. Of course, right as Stoney gives him a little bit of a pump up. He kicks it out of bounds on the full, and it'll be Caden Brand to take the free kick.
Birchall has it. Two lookalikes combining. Birchall in the white boots, Caden Brand in the black boots. As Birchall, high left foot ball. Mullinger, McHugh and Segler both there. Guthrie went up for Geelong, no mark taken. Segler at the fall was very clean. Cousins, interesting handball to an under pressure Meadows. Had to go back and extract it himself. Birchall, he goes further back. This is Brandt. He's going to go all the way back to Dave Mirror. Inside defensive 50. Right football from Mirror. Target is Mackey. He takes the mark on the outskirts of defensive 50. For Box Hill, Middleborough Road side of the ground. His kick's intended for Boucher. Good build-up so far for Box Hill, all by foot. Kick inboard Meadows. He goes by hand to Boucher. Cousins asking for it in the corridor. The kick was slightly overcooked. Jones was there for Geelong. Picked it up on the half volley. 1-2 with Abbott. Little kick towards half forward here for the Cats. Bouncing ball picked up. Abbott hand pass off. Had a loose option out wide in Selwood. Little chip to the pocket. Buzzer pushed out of it last moment by Dave Mirror. No free kick, and the Hawks are out of danger. Mirror's kick is good for Raducci.
He can get it and go. Caught in two minds, had options inboard and also out wide. Eventually elected to go wide for Boucher, whose short pass for Minchington is good. Two kicks and the Hawks are at half forward, and now they're inside 50. Smith lurking though for Geelong. Had first hands to it. Walker was there to provide a contest, and I think both sides will be happy with a boundary throw-in. No score after 2.5 minutes, third term here at Box Hill City Oval. Around the grounds, Footscray with a commanding lead over the Tigers, and they've just kicked another goal. They're up by 39 points now, approaching time on in the final term as a shot at goal comes for Box Hill, but it's out of bounds on the full.
It's James Cousins with the shot.
It'll be Henderson's ball from the last line of defence.
One of the larger cricket net setups we've got around the grounds in the VFL there, Stoney.
It's good, isn't it? It's very, very impressive.
Windy Hill one's impressive as well. Henderson, he'll go down the line. We're on the outer side here, and that's a good mark looking into the sun by Zach Smith. He goes inboard. Mark now taken by the other Smith. Browless next in the chain. Gore. And now Reed back to Gore, immediately pressured. Good tackle, Taya Miles. Took a very long time to dispose, and a free kick for Taya Miles in the middle of the ground. And will he get 50? No. Just dealt with a little bit afterward by Gore. Miles gets up, takes his kick. Short for Birchall. Look at the space out here on the broadcast wing for the Hawks. Mackey currently has it. Short pass inboard is okay. The mark's taken by Moore.
defensive, they're really well set up, the Hawks. They just really know that everybody knows their role. They play defensiv's been really good today.
Moore wants to go long. Morrison was asking for the short option, goes longer instead. Why not? When Jared Ruffhead's there, Segler at the back. Ruffhead fell over. He was pushed out of the contest. It allowed Segler to come in and take the mark. He's having an outstanding day today, is Jonathan Segler. That is his 7th mark.
He's a bit stiff to be out of the Hawthorn side, I reckon, Adam. His kicking is the one thing that he needs to improve on, but certainly his game, his marking and his tap work around the ground is very good.
15th disposal coming up, 20 hit outs, 7 marks and a tackle for his day so far. And now at a goal as well. Box Hill strike first in the 3rd quarter, as they did in quarters 1 and 2. 7-2-44 Box Hill. They lead by 19 points. Geelong 3-5-23. 5 minutes gone, 3rd term.
When you've got a ruckman that's dominant and he's moving forward and making an option down forward, he takes marks, he can take marks and strong marks. That's another forward option, and Segler's done that. And as I said, his gocking, I think, in the AFL last few weeks hasn't been the best, but that's a very important goal this time of the 3rd quarter.
As we mentioned in the pre-game, 7th taking on 8th this afternoon. A big game for both sides, and the winner today will just give themselves a little bit of breathing space in the top 8, with 3 or 4 teams breathing down their necks trying to get in as the Cats win a centre clearance. It's Simpson. Does he go all the way himself? Oh, you bet he does. And the Cats get a much-needed goal.
It's not a bad effort, taking the ball out of the midfield and having a shot on goal, and you've seen the Breeze carry that one through, and they need that one, I think, just to steady themselves and give a bit of confidence.
4-5-29 now, Geelong with the quick response. Box Hill 7-2-44, the margin back to that half-time margin of 15 points.
Segler to go in ruck against Zach Smith here in the middle. 2 goals early to start this 3rd term. It took a while for the scoring to get going in the 1st term here today, but a quick start to the 3rd as Moore around the body, kick towards half forward. Gores in position A, takes it that true centre half back for the Cats, and he's quick to get things moving. Brownless back toward the corridor. Interesting ball that. A number of Hawks were there. Well gathered by Gore. Does release Jones by hand. Hand pass, a little rush for Parsons. Bouncing ball at half forward. Hawks regain possession. Out wide we go. Gold's marks. Hand pass over the top. Running onto it. Here's Mitchington. He goes inside 50. Does a Ducci mark in play? No, I don't think he did. Boundary umpire does come across and say it's out of bounds on the full, and the free kick to be taken by Oakenbaugh. Inside defensive 50 for the Cats. Wants to go, well, doesn't know what to do. Eventually just ran around a man on the mark and goes down the line. Segler again tried to come across, take the mark. Miles, the other leading ball getter on the ground at the moment. Birchall toward the middle. Mercedes takes the mark. Good build up by Box Hill by foot yet again. Mercedes goes deep, inside 50, rough head, one hand, no mark. Mulligan McHugh, hand pass off, open goal, and the Hawks finish. The goal is kicked by Ross. Box Hill starting to kick away now, 8-2-50, Geelong 4-5-29, almost 8 gone 3rd term.
There's a Geelong player down, but the worrying sign would be the ease of that goal. Ball comes in, getting plenty of football inside the 50, and sort of the player ran into open goal. So that's the danger part for the Cats, I reckon.
Ben Jarvis was the Cat down, up on his feet now, hands on his head, in a fair bit of discomfort. 2 trainers with him.
He's going to stay out there for the time being, it looks like, is Jarvis. Big goal for the Box Hill Hawks just to regain that 21-point advantage. Jackson Ross held goalless last week. Finally kicks one in the 3rd term today as Hawthorn win it out of the middle, get it to Golds on the broadcast wing. Now Cousins and Roughhead combine. Give it off now to Mackie. Golds one way then the other, and spots a man in the middle. Beautiful kick for Aducci. They've got numbers fanning to the outer side now as the mark is taken by Miles. Sold the candy beautifully. Spots up a target inside 50, and the mark is taken by Moore.
It's not Hawthorn, but Hawthorn like that passage, Michael.
Certainly was.
It's just they're getting a lot of ball now. It's a lot of clear ball, which is really, as I said, dangerous line for Geelong, and another shot on goal by the skipper. So you're right, this is like you can see one side starting to dominate the other.
A top 10 draft pick of the Port Adelaide Power a decade ago was Andrew Moore. Had a pretty good AFL career, now plying his trade for the Box Hill Hawks. This would be a big goal. He just slides it out across the face of goal. And the margin now out to 22 points. 8-3-51, plays 4-5-29.
Henderson bringing this in for Geelong. He'll be asked to hurry up now. Looking to come toward the Bolton Street side of the ground. Roughhead's got two cuts to deal with. He was sandwiched. Brought down in the tackle, Dowling. It was a good tackle by Kilpatrick. Ball up.
Around the grounds, boys. Early third term in most of the other games going on. Northern Blues with a 13-point lead over Casey. Collingwood with a 9-point lead over Werribee over at Avalon, and Williamstown by 17 over the Dolphins.
We'll be seeing both those teams next week, Collingwood and Williamstown, on Hard Jacket Totally Workwear VFL Live. The golden brown fist from Kazitsky results in a boundary throw-in. That one's at Victoria Park. On Hard Jacket Totally Workwear VFL Live next week. Sorry, Stoney?
As well played by Kazitsky to get a hand in there, because Buzzer had the front position and come over the top, so well done.
All coming right towards you, Stoney. You're in position A today. Boundary throw in. Roughhead just clonked it out at the ruck. Did well get his hand pass out in time as well. Kick comes towards half forward off the boot of Jones. Dowling tried to get a hand on it. Was there a push in there? Umpire says no. Boundary throw in. In front of our main broadcast area this afternoon. Taya Miles now up to 17 touches. The leading ball getter on the ground for the Cats. It's Jim Parsons with 15. Umpire throws it in. That one's going to favour Abbott. Never really got to it, did Mullinger. McHugh. Cousins eventually picks up. Had to get away from the Smith tackle. Won it back. Smith. Hand pass over the top. Abbott has to get around Kilpatrick. Good pressure. Box Hill win it back in the middle. Morrison. Quick hand pass out. Touch number 18 now for Miles. It's on the way. It was a wobbling ball off the boot. It bounced the wrong way in the end, and it's a minor score.
Leg break.
For the Hawks, 8-4-52, playing 4-5-29 on Hard Jacket Totally Workwear VFL Live.
Almost over at VU Whitten Oval around the grounds. Footscray going to get a big win over Richmond. It'll be just their second loss of the year. The Dogs leading it by 58 points as a mark is taken by Gore in the right back pocket for Geelong. Sends it long, Buzzer charging at it. And got a good leap and took a nice mark. Doesn't have too many options though. Brownless is on inboard if he wants. Instead goes the more conservative route to Narkle, but even that didn't hit the target. Now they're under a little bit of pressure. And good work by the Hawks to force them over the boundary line.
And that's perceived pressure of the defensive aspects of the Box Hill side. So Geelong starting to make skill errors, which is got to try and cut out of the game at this stage.
No, just like the Hawks did to the Magpies last night, the Hawks doing it to the Cats this afternoon as the ball spins back into play. Parsons up against a couple. Somehow got it out, but did so illegally, said the umpire.
Took on the tackler.
Box Hill free kick going the way of Cousins on the true centre wing position. Not too far away from our man boundary side, Mark Stone. As Cousins just takes some time before going long. Has the tall timber there. Mullinger McHugh flew. Didn't get a hand to it. Morrison off hands. Don't think he disposed of that properly, but we might have had a better view of that one than the umpire as the ball is handballed out to space now. Mashidi can run onto it and from 50 metres kick it out of bounds on the full. No change to the score, still a 23-point ball game.
Cannelly to bring this one back into play for Geelong. In front of the cricket nets here at Box Hill City Oval. He'll go on the right foot toward the outer side. Good penetrating kick. No mark was taken. Brand looking into the sun. Had to give off the handball. Good pressure from the Cats. It's still alive here. Smith goes off the ground. Skidding ball toward the wing. Coming across to claim it was Birchall. Then he got claimed straight away by McLaughlin. Ball up. So a 23-point lead for Box Hill over Geelong. Round 14 action. Geelong 7th on the ladder to start the day. Box Hill in 8th as ball does come out right before the umpire was going to blow for another ball up. The hand pass is interesting. Jones does pick up though for the Cats. Left foot goes inside 50, just a little too much on it for Black. Mirror pressuring him, forces him out of play. Boundary throw in front of the main balcony here, Stoney. It's a great looking ground, this one, Box Hill City Oval.
So got the dome shape on as the ground from one side to the other, which is obviously because great drainage and great facility and great ground.
Great spectator venue, this one.
Yep.
Boundary throw in. Bouncing ball here. Hand pass came out. Smith, there was a whistle. There was a cap put down behind play.
Yeah, I think you're right. You called it right. Hand pass, which is a hand tap, I think it was.
So Taya Miles to claim the free kick for Box Hill. Possession number 19. Coming up for Miles. The right foot ball. Segler underneath it. Mullinger McHugh as well. Segler almost clunked another mark. It just slipped through his hands. Tarka received the handball from Jarvis. He goes straight down the throat though of Grant Birchall.
Building in his return from injury, Grant Birchall, is his kick nice inboard for Aducci, and they can stream through the centre of Box Hill City Oval now, the Hawks.
12 touches, Birchall.
Here comes Boucher, kicking across goal. Plenty of numbers inboard for it. Meadows, one of those who can gather and have a ping and kick a lovely goal for the Hawks. Margin out to 29 points now. That's a game high. 9-4-58 plays 4-5-29. And Mark Stone, I pose the question to you, what do the Cats need to do?
Well, they need to win the ball. They actually need their hands on the football, because what's happening is Box Hill from defence is actually taking the ball through the midfield. And early in the game, both sides are trying to protect the corridor, and now Box Hill's getting through the corridor, and defensive part of the Geelong team needs to really pick up, and they need to get their hands and do some dirty work inside so they can get their hands on the ball and get their forwards an opportunity. So that's what needs to happen right at this point.
Luke Meadows becomes the first multiple goal kicker on the grounds here today at Box Hill. Umpire throws it up. Wise decision. Neither ruck really got a hand on it in the ruck contest. They will get the clearance again. It's Meadows up towards half forward. No mark was taken. Just falling over there was Aducci in the marking contest. Ground ball. Reeds over the top of it. Interesting tap there. Did find Selwood. His hand pass to Tarka. Did well at ground level. Steady feet. Kick smothered off the boot though. Smith just ripped away from it from by Segler. It's up for grabs at centre half forward here for Box Hill. Boucher's wrapped up in the tackle by Schlensog, and a ball up inside the centre square.
In saying that, Geelong hasn't been able to get their hands on the ball because Box Hill haven't allowed that.
And they're getting a lot of ease, Stoney. Clearances. The kick didn't go far though. Henderson. Hand pass back in toward the traffic. Narkle got his kick away as he was being brought down. Segler, nice little ball to Birchall. Another nice little ball to Aducci. Box Hill well on top now here. Aducci's too far out to score. The mark is just inside 50. He will line up, but he is looking for a passing option. Vinny Aducci goes with the chipper to lead from rough head. Ball fisted away by Jarvis. A very effective one as well because he found Reed. Now it's Buzzer taking the mark in front of Brand. Left foot ball for Brand. Just coming onto the ground from the bench was Parsons. Gets his kick in time. Mackey brought him down late. That should be a downfield ball for the Cats.
Aaron Black will take the kicker, right?
In scoring range. That tricky pocket, Stoney, you spoke a lot of in the first half.
Yeah, so it's a left-hand goal post now because it's the breeze is blowing towards the social room. So it's going to go left to right.
Just a wealth of knowledge in the VFL is Mark Stoney now. 10th year here on VFL Live. He's been one of the mainstays, Mark Stone, boundary side. And we're very grateful to have him, Michael, boundary side for us today. Black's kick, he's missing near side. Minor score for the Cats, 4-6-30, trailing by 28 points. Box Hill, 9-4-58.
Second behind of the afternoon for Black. And I think both of them came from almost that exact spot as well. As the Hawks take the kick in. Brand sends it long towards the broadcast wing, off hands. Tracking it At the back for Geelong was Harris. Got a handball away over his head. A blind one in the end because all the numbers were with the Hawks and they're able to snap it towards half forward, but Jarvis the only man home and he goes short and the mark taken by Gore just inside the field of play. Approaching time on third term. It's starting to get desperate for Geelong. They trail by 28 points. 9-4 plays 4-6.
They're not trusting their systems at the moment.
And they're just conceding ground at the moment. Reed short to Dowling inside defensive 50. They've switched it to the outer side, but the Hawks have mostly shut it down, but a nice pass and mark taken by Gore, who's built into the game after not having played for quite some time. And they're going to switch again, the Cats. Selwood has it. It's labour intensive, this exit from defensive 50, but eventually they do so. Henderson gives it off to Jarvis. Has Brownless running, calling for the handball. You're right, Stoney, they were too slow, and all Jarvis can do is poke it short to Jones.
So if he goes backwards, they've got to go forward.
He's heard you, Stoney, because Jones is just pumping it long inside. Forward 50, the big fly came from Black, couldn't take the mark. Narkle tracking it at ground level, but the Hawks doing well to clear. Brand and Mirror combine, and now the mark taken by Boucher in the right back pocket.
If you allow Box Hill to get behind the ball, their system is they'll be defence first before they attack. So they get all the players behind the ball and then run the ball up.
It's a great kick by Mercedes to find Boucher. He's kicked though slightly overcooked. Out the back is Simpson. Gets brought down. It stays in play. That will be a ball up. No, it did go out of play. Boundary throw in. Out of sight of the ground. Box Hill have kicked 3-1 in this third term. They've kicked now 3 goals in every quarter so far today. Just ticked into time on of the third here. High ball towards half forward. Rough it up against Henderson. Henderson kept it in front of him. Dowling at the forehand pass. Guthrie back to Henderson. Does well. Right foot ball towards half forward. Just misreading it in flight was Black. Buzzer went down. Out the back is Brand for Box Hill. Bouncing. Never really wanted to pick it up.
The idea was right there. They just have to get it forward. Give you this players the ability to run onto the ball and have a kick on goal. So you've got to try and get out of those blockages from the Box Hill defence. The dislocation coming off here for the play here, the Box Hill play.
NFC West is well represented at the moment. Michael, Rams fan, a Seahawks fan nearby. Boundary throw in.
Jimmy Garoppolo out there for the Hawks, Adam.
Is that? You think Dave Mirra looks like the San Francisco 49ers quarterback?
There are similarities.
Stoney's got no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Umpire throws,
NFL fan.
throws it up. Got to have something to keep us occupied in the off-season, Stoney. If cricket's not your go, Jones put into the deck, ball up. So we're inside 50 here for the Cats. They need a goal. They're down by game high 28 points. Umpire throws it up. Segler in the ruck, trying to get it down to more. A lot of numbers around this ball at the moment. And we're going to see a lot of stoppages until someone can break free. A lot of Freddie Mercury's out there at the moment wanting to break free, Stoney.
Great song.
There the ruck got a hand on it yet again. Quick clearing ball for Box Hill. Does trickle away from a lot of the congestion. Selwood, he was happy to see the line as he was pressured by Cousins. It's at least outside 50 now from a Box Hill perspective. Boundary throw-in. Bit of a lull in this game at the moment as Box Hill lead by 28.
They're controlling the game, that's why they've got it exactly where they want it. I'll try and talk to Max Bailey at 3/4 time, just give a bit of a chat with him.
3-1 in quarter number 3 in favour of Box Hill as Jones has his kick smothered, goes in again and gets it out, but
it was out of bounds.
Was out of bounds before the kick came, so no on the full free kick for Geelong. It'll be a boundary throw-in instead, about 55 out from the Cats' goal. 23.5 minutes gone. As we said, plenty on the line for both teams in this contest. 7th taking on 8th. The loser may find themselves outside the top 8, depending on other results. And for the winner, well, they get a little bit of breathing space as we head into the final third of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL season. As the ball tossed in, so many players around that footy, that's not coming out. And we'll get another stoppage just inside forward 50 for the Cats this time.
Geelong need a goal just before three-quarter time, just to give them some confidence, because it's not their day at the moment.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Stoney. Cats desperately need a goal, but they won't get one here as we have another stoppage.
That's a good tune as well, Stoney.
Good tune. Just Box Hill wants stoppages. They don't care. They'll have as many stoppages as they like because they just control the play.
Jones didn't even bother taking full possession of it, just tapped it onto his boot and did well. The tap on by Roughhead was brilliant. Minchington able to run onto it, just puts it into space for Aducci. The bounce cruels him though. And Oakenbaugh able to gather for the Cats. Gives it off to Brownless, but he fumbles. The door still open for Box Hill. The snap comes from Ross. Good work on the goal line by Jarvis. And eventually rushed through by Reid. Cats defence holding on.
Gore quickly took the kick in. One of the cricket nets, and mark was taken by Harris. Jarvis, Reid. He sells the umpire into paying a 50-metre penalty. Roughhead took a step forward on the mark, and Reid's going for a dash. And he's going to run through the corridor. Umpire's going to tell him to keep on running. Almost from the centre, sends the Cats into attack. No mark was taken. Jones. Hand pass to Parsons, looking to find a way through the corridor. McLaughlin, Brownless with the finish. Right foot snap. Oscar kicks the goal for the Cats. A much needed one. 5-6-36. Box Hill 9-5-59. Almost 26 gone third term.
That's the goal they needed. We spoke about in the last few minutes. They needed to get that goal, because otherwise they had gone three-quarter time at this margin. You'd think that Box Hill with the breeze would sort of say, well, we've got the game under control. So what we need now is Geelong kick another goal right now, and 2 in a row, and bring that margin back.
Taya Miles still the leading disposal winner on the ground with 19. 17 of them kicks as well. He really has been the architect off half back. And he's 2 clear of John Segler, Harry Jones and Quinton Narkle, who's leading the Cats. They all have 17 each, as the margin is back to 23 points late in the third term. Can the Cats get another one just before three-quarter time?
Free kick.
Toe poked off the deck. It's going to come back for a holding free kick. Simpson has it just inside the centre square. Lead comes from Brownless, the last goal kicker, and that's where he goes. And he pokes it short, and the mark taken by Abbott. Spots a man out wide, goes there. That's going to be a difficult shot at goal if he elects to take it.
What's the distance there from your perspective, boys?
He'd probably be kicking from right on the paint of 50, maybe 52. Decides not to take the shot and goes to Guthrie.
Whoever gets a shot on goal will get the journey if they can kick the footy, because the breeze is still there.
Content to just poke it around the arc at the moment are the Cats, but McLaughlin finally decides to take a risk. Sends it to the pocket, looking for Harris. Ball punched away from him, and over the line it goes.
No confidence there.
They look a shell of themselves at the moment, do the Cats. Certainly not the team we saw 2 weeks ago absolutely dominate the Dolphins. Caught in a different ball game today. 23-point deficit against the Box Hill Hawks as we get another stoppage.
Box Hill does have the easier run home than Geelong as well. Frankston, Richmond, North Melbourne, Werribee, Northern Blues, Collingwood in Box Hill's run home. Geelong's, I'll go through that in a moment, a little tougher.
This would be a big win for the Hawks. Only 1-3-1 against fellow top 8 teams this season as the ball comes in for Geelong, but intercepted by Morrison. Spots a man wide, that's Brandon. He has it inside defensive 50. Boucher now has done most of his work on the other side of the ground, but he goes short for Minchington. He has it between half-back and wing for Box Hill. And he just sends it long up the line. Henderson well placed, so too Abbott. And he takes a good intercept mark.
Geelong's run home, Sandringham, Casey, Port Melbourne, North Melbourne, Williamstown, Essendon. So that's a lot more trickier than what Box Hill have ahead in the latter stages of the home and away season. Henderson goes with the short pass, just 15. Gore.
Oh,
Not a great ball in toward the middle for Taka. Turns it over. Mirror's kick out wide was effective. Bouncing ball. Wrong way though for Box Hill. Didn't take the Simpkin bounce that time. Minor score. 9-5 or 9-6? 9-6, 60 to 5-6. 36-29 gone in this third term as the shadows creep longer over Box Hill City Oval. As Henderson goes over the top. Nice little chipper ball for Jarvis. It's a little screen pass as he goes down the line. Jarvis. Buzzer couldn't get a hand up in the end. Abbott went to ground. Box Hill had numbers at the fall. Boucher goes back. Miles goes further back. That's okay for Brand. And he holds on to it at left half back. Caden Brand, the right football, high toward half forward. Buzzer off balance, took a very good mark. It is kick to kick at the moment as he goes to the middle of the ground. Simpson behind the circles, hand pass off to Brownless. Geelong's most recent goal kicker. Not sure Jones was expecting it. He was running the wrong way. Eventually it did come to him, but that was when the pressure arrived as well. Ball up at the top of 50 for the Cats.
Another kick goal here. Free kick there to who?
Running out of time though. The whistle was blown, potentially just for time off.
Geelong actually, I reckon.
Umpire hasn't indicated a free kick as of yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he pointed one way.
Balled it up and it just landed in the lap of Zach Smith. Gets his kick away, bounces all the way. That took a Simpkin bounce. It's a goal for Geelong.
And a siren.
On the three-quarter time siren, 6-6-42 Geelong. They breathe life into the contest. Box Hill 9 at 6-60. Maybe a chance that the melee could break out here. There's a lot of players around where Zach Smith kicked that goal out of the ruck. Umpire's blown the whistle. Not sure what that's going to achieve when it is actually three-quarter time. Can't pay a free kick in this situation, can you, Stoney? There's a lot of whistles blowing.
It's usually why the players wait until the break to get something going.
Not sure what a whistle's going to do there, but it is three-quarter time and only an 18-point game. Geelong have done well late in the quarter to get back into it. Box Hill 9-6-60, Geelong are 6-6. 42.
We'll just run through the goal kickers before going to a break. Adam, Luke Meadows, the only multiple goal scorer on the ground. He has 2 and singles for the Hawks to Roughhead, Segler, Walker, Ross, Jones, Mullinger, McHugh, and also Nanskillen. And for the Cats, all singles. Zach Smith on the stroke of three-quarter time. Wiley Buzzer has 1 goal too. And Brownless, Tarka, Simpson, and Luke Smith are the other goal kickers for Geelong.
We'll take a break here at Box Hill City Oval. Big finish coming up. It's Box Hill by 18 points. Adam Sarikoglu, Michael Pepicelli, Mark Stone is in the huddles. He'll talk to Max Bailey on the other side of this break. Final term coming up after this.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live, sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Box Hill leading Geelong by 18 points. 3/4 time Hard Yakka Totally Workwear. VFL Live action from Box Hill City Oval. 2 goals for Luke Meadows. All singles for both sides after that. Geelong kicked a couple of goals late in that third term. We have a contest on our hands. Michael Pepicelli has some stats. Mark Stone's in the Box Hill huddle, and he might just cut us off if he does get Max Bailey while you're going through some numbers. Michael.
That's right, Adam, and all of these stats are, of course, thanks to the VFL app and also Champion Data, who are powering all these numbers. So a big thank you to them as we have a look at the team stats. And disposal of the footy completely dominated by Box Hill at the moment. They've had a lot more of the ball and a much higher kick-to-handball ratio as well. 169 kicks to just a 91 handballs for the Hawks. They've had it inside 50 more times now, 35-34 in favour of the Hawks, but Geelong, of course, will be coming home with what we believe to be the scoring end in the final term. As we flick over to the individual numbers now, Geelong just disbanding from the huddle. Box Hill still in there as we have a look at the individual stats winners. Taya Miles is having himself a day out. He has 20, 18 of those kicks. He's been an influential player today. John Segler and Harry Jones both have 17. They're both having good games. Quinton Narkle leading the way for the Cats with 17, and Scott Selwood has 16 to go with 8 tackles, and followed by Lockie Henderson and James Parsons with 15 apiece. As the Box Hill huddle is finally broken away. Mark Stone, feel free to just cut me off whenever you're ready if you have Max Bailey. Thought that might have been Stoney just then. There he is.
Just with the team, it's been performance.
Yeah, so far. No, I think Stoney, you might just be out of range, mate. So we're not quite catching any of that at all, unfortunately. We might need to cut that one off, unfortunately, Michael.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So
that's not going to work, Michael.
That didn't work. The stats, as we said, in favour of Box Hill at the moment. They're leading the inside 50s. They've been more efficient as well. 15 scoring shots to 12, and they've been more accurate also. I'm sure Shane O'Brien would have given his men a little bit of a rev up at 3/4 time. They know what's on the line. They're currently in 7th, and they can go quite some way free inside the top 8 if they're able to get ahead and win this one. As we just go around the grounds before the final term gets underway. A thrilling game over at Casey Fields with the Demons leading that one by 3 points over the Northern Blues. Collingwood with a 16-point lead over Werribee at Avalon Airport Oval, 10-6-66 to 7-8-50, and Williamstown over a feisty Frankston outfit, 10-5-65 to 6-7-43. As we're ready to go in the final term, which gets underway with The Box Hill Hawks leading by 18 points. Selwood got rid of the tackler, then got the handball off to Narkle. His kick just an up and under. Jones needs to contest here against Mackey and did well despite having the height disadvantage, but at ground level it was all Box Hill, and Walker able to take the mark. His kick partially smothered off the boot though, which opens the door here for the Cats. Reed just screws it around the body to keep it in play. Gathered nicely by Brownless, who goes towards half forward with Abbott there. But the mark taken in front by Caden Brand.
One way to the other. A bit nifty there by Brand. The diving effort from Brownless to try and pick it off. Didn't quite work out. Walker towards half forward. Segler, another mark for him. Nathan Mullinger-McHugh in toward the pocket. Sliding effort, Roughhead. Didn't take the mark. Henderson tackles him. Ball's up for grabs here in the pocket. Cats trying to get away from the danger. Holding the ball and a free kick going Box Hill's way. A double tackle, Mullinger-McHugh and Boucher. Boucher left foot ball. He's going to go across the face. Is it marked on the line? It is. And that'll be a shot directly in front. The mark was taken by Darren Mitchington.
Good mark too, against experienced opponents.
Seen him many times on VFL Live at Sandringham.
Yep.
Box Hill, as they have in quarters 1, 2 and 3, kicked the first goal of the last term. And that's not the start Geelong was looking for. 10-6, 66 to 6-6. 42, a lot of sixes in that scoreline. 94 seconds gone, final term.
Yeah, good goal, good start by the Box Hill team, and that's exactly what Max Barley talked about, is that he just talked about his team. It was totally team, and his communication with his players about, we've done really well today as a team, and you played your role really well, and another great result. Got a lot of the footy there, and it got inside 50 and got a shot on goal.
Box Hill by 24 points on Hard Yakka. Totally Workwear VFL Live. The Cats need to get the quick response if they're to have a chance in this one, as Smith wins the hit out to Parsons, gives it off to Selwood, and the clearance goes Geelong's way. Inside forward 50. Jones did well not to take possession. Forced his man to defend there in Mackey. Buzzer gathers at ground level. Gives it off to Jones. Has a man forward of the ball if he wants. He finds Smith. One way then the other. Snap on the right foot. Won't make the distance. And the mark taken by Mirror on the last line of defence for Box Hill. Has Segler free. He takes the mark and he gives it off to Golds. Handball inboard is risky. Living dangerously at the moment here, the Hawks, but able to get away. Still under pressure, and they end up conceding about 40 metres. And back to Mirror they go. And now Morrison spots Boucher free, and he takes the mark.
He'll go down the line. That's an effective ball. The mark is taken by Mullinger-McHugh, who has been good today for Box Hill. Ducci comes on for Boucher. Mullinger-McHugh goes inside 50. Roughhead again, sandwich. They've double teamed him a little bit today. Jones in the pocket here, just holds up. Right football centering. Unrealistic attempt at the mark there by Mitchington. Gives away the free kick to Gore. Not sure exactly what Darren Mitchington was thinking there. Gore. Right football toward the outer wing. Off hands it comes. It's hacked back inside 50 for Box Hill. No mark was taken. Off hands it comes. Cannerley. He'll clear away toward the outer wing. 1-on-1. Good mark, Brand. Took it very nicely in front of Brownless. Caden Brand. Just forward of true centre wing. Right football, inside 50 once more for Box Hill. No mark taken. Ground level ball, Reed. Had to get his hand pass out. Smith, it's Zach Smith. Nice little pass for his fellow ruckman in Abbott. He'll go with the hand pass over the top. Bouncing ball picked up by Guthrie. Now Black, there's plenty of hoops here. Black's hand pass off and a chance for the Cats. Buzzer, ball coming his way. Parsons, though, was in a better spot to take the mark. And a must-kick goal.
I reckon their best player today, this young fella, Geelong's best Parsons.
James Parsons. Yeah. He's been up there for disposals for a lot of the day. This will be number 18. This is a must-kick goal for the Cats. Quinton Narkle and Scott Selwood both up to 18. Leading ball getters on the ground for the Cats. 19 for Segler for Box Hill and 20 for Taya Miles. Kicks on the way, right foot ball, liked it off the boot, and the Cats get one back. Jimmy Parsons kicks the goal. It's 18 points once more. 7-6, 48 to 10-6, 66, 5 gone final term.
They've got to get 2 in a row, don't they? They just have to get 2 in a row because Box will get another one. It'll take the sting out of Geelong's tail a bit, I reckon.
They're still in it, the Cats, but as Stoney said, consecutive goals will be massive here if the Cats can string a couple together. That margin back to 18 points. 10-6 plays 7-6. Almost 6 minutes gone in this final term. 7th v 8th on the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL ladder. It's Cousins taken down by Abbott. Didn't have prior opportunity though, so we'll get a stoppage just forward of the centre circles for Geelong. Segler's had the better of the ruck duel today and he wins that one down. Cousins gathers, just sends it high and wide. Brownless leading in the race for it. All the players slowed up in the end. No one wanted to mark it, but Brownless had the pace at ground level and the skills to go inboard to find McLaughlin. Wants to go immediately and does. Finds Gore, who thought about going, but strong manning of the mark by Morrison didn't allow him to. In fact, that was Dowling, and now he goes out wide for Tarka. Has Simpson running into space. Does the kick get there in time? It does, and Simpson takes the mark in front of Miles. And he can just poke it over the top. He's able to find his teammate Jones. And finally the long kick comes for the Cats. Inside forward 50, but Segler in the hole, best place. Couldn't take the mark. Now Buzzer fighting on all fours. Gives it off to Parsons for 2 in a minute. He's not able to get the snap going far enough around. And through for a minor score. The margin now 17 points.
Dare I say it, that could be a handy point for the Cats as Mira gets ready to bring this one back in for Box Hill. He's in no major rush. Here's Dave Mira, takes a bounce. Kicks to a 2-on-2. Segler and Roughhead at a 2 Hawks up against Henderson and Abbott at the fall. Canali towards half forward. Dealt with was Narkle by Birchall. Not happy with the treatment was Canali at a 50-metre penalty to go Geelong's way. A certain goal is coming up for Quinton Narkle and the margin will be 11 points. As long as he does the job with the kick, which you would expect he would. Wow. Plot thickening at Box Hill City Oval. Narkle kicks the goal. 8-6-54. I think that should be 8-7-55. Box Hill 10-6. 66.
It's funny when you kick a goal. You can feel the energy on the bench just lift. It's players are encouraging each other and just saying, you can hear it as they come off the ground. Just they can sniff it. They can get it. They get a little sniff here. So another goal here will certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons. No pun intended there, boys.
He's been good today, Quinton Narkle. Equal leading disposal winner on the ground for the Cats and has that goal to go along with it. 19 disposals he's had alongside Parsons. Scott Selwood not too far behind them with 18. So it's all set up for a grandstand finish almost 9 minutes into this final term. An 11-point lead to the Hawks on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live. From the restart, the Cats win the clearance again. Narkle goes with the outside of the boot towards half forward. Black, one bite, the second, and he's taken it on the third. Just beyond his range, you would think. Kajitsky standing the mark at 51 metres out. Pokes it to the pocket. Has Buzzer in the one-on-one. Became a one-on-two in the end. Abbott roving. Don't see that too often. Hacked out of mid-air for a goal for Geelong. The game's within a kick. Luke Smith was the man who got boot to ball. That's goal number 2 for him. He's a little live wire up there for the Cats. And as you said, Stoney, the Cats have strung together 3 in a row now, and we've got a game on our hands.
It's amazing what football can do. Swings and roundabouts and just trends. And Box Hill, obviously, Geelong have really dug in deep and getting a lot of ball. Things are bouncing. The ball's bouncing, kick out of there for goal. Just little things that turn. So Box Hill now have to rally, and Roughhead's gone in a ruck, this one.
It's been in the ball. He's done a bit of ruck work today, Roughhead, but Segler will contest against Abbott here. 5 points game at Box Hill City Oval. Stay tuned. Big finish coming up. More towards half forward. Cats are lifting. They've taken a mark across half back here. It's Dowling that's taken it. Dowling's ball. Up towards half forward. No mark taken by Buzzer. And that's a high tackle. Free kick to go Box Hill's way. Short pass there by Mackie. Mercedes had his calf worked on at the start of the final term. Golds touched off the boot. Mitchington couldn't do much with it. Boundary throw in.
So now the pressure comes on now. Is Geelong. You can see the energy level. I mentioned before, energy levels are lifted up, and bounce of the ball will be very important to whichever side here.
Quinton Narkles up to 20 disposals now, equal with Taya Miles of Box Hill. Umpire brings this in. Narkles going to get 21 here, left foot. Just up towards 50. Buzzer couldn't take the mark. Well done there, Kazitsi. The handball was a bit wayward for Golds, and a boundary throw in. Very close to us as that whistle was picked up by our FX Mike. So it's going to be a close finish at Box Hill City Oval. It's been a while since we've had a close one on VFL Live. I think Geelong was involved in the last close one we had. That was a win against Werribee. Umpire brings this in. Jones, hand pass off, Roughhead standing start, boots away, bouncing ball here. It's Cousins up against Henderson. Henderson has been the direct opponent for Roughhead for much of the day. Cousins wraps up Henderson, had to get rid of it by hand. Gore can't keep it in, boundary throw in.
The Dreamtime game a few weeks ago as well, Adam. That was a close one.
Forgot about that one, the one where I think you were there, Stoney, that day. We almost lost all the sunlight. Boundary throw in.
I was there that day.
Just forward of centre wing here for Box Hill. All of a sudden, they're the ones that need a goal. They led by 28 points during the third term. Hand pass comes out to Golds. That's going to be out of bounds on the full. It's going to land in the canteen area.
Look at guys, thanks.
Yeah, the canteen ran out of food today half time. So the Cats are going to reclaim possession. Bit of a lull. It's the calm before the storm now at Box Hill City Oval. As the free kick is claimed by Gore. Goes short. Selwood. Had a good day, Selwood. Interesting ball for Dowling. Still inside defensive 50 of Cats as they look to switch. And the switch is now complete. Jarvis has it on the outer side. They're going carefully by foot at the moment, the Cats. Schlensog doesn't know what he wants to do. Right foot ball down the line. And a good mark taken by Guthrie. Promising build up for the Cats here. Guthrie has it. Zach Guthrie's ball. Up towards 50. No mark was taken. Just on the outskirts here. Brownless involved for the Cats. Eventually it came out. Bouncing ball toward the square goals. Can he get a hand on it? I don't think so. It's gone all the way. Big goal for Jake Tarker. Or was it Parsons?
Parsons it was.
Geelong leads. 10-7-67 to 10-6-66.
10 minutes ago, we were saying Box Hill in the box seat. Amazing what momentum can do in footy. It is a funny game.
His second goal of the final term. James Parsons, he does it all. He wins Emmys and he kicks goals.
20 touches, 2 goals, 1 for Parsons. He's been excellent and the Cats have a 1-point lead. 10-7 plays 10-6, 14 minutes into this final term. Ruffy's been thrown into the ruck now. What can he conjure up for the Hawks? Went up early and actually got it down into the path of Moore, who was held. And that just takes away the Cats' momentum briefly as Miles gets it, sends it inside 50. No mark taken. Minchington at ground level is taken heavily and we'll get a ball up inside forward 50. Parsons still down. A couple of trainers heading to him now. He'd be a big loss for the Cats if he weren't able to take part in the rest of this game. As Smith wins it down, but straight to Minchington. His snap, though, way offline, and That's out of bounds on the full. It'll be a Cats free kick. About 10 metres around from the right behind post as Henderson takes the mark in his left back pocket. Has Buzzer long up the line. The kick's going to fall short of him. Smith there against a couple of Hawks. Did okay, but Gold's read it well off hands. Sold the candy nicely and brings it in board. Almost losing it in the sun was Meadows. Did well to control it though. Gives it off to Moore. Inside forward 50 for the Hawks. Minchington had to go through his fingertips. Henderson under pressure. Gives it off to Selwood and he pokes it across goal looking for Kennelly, but I really think he wanted the boundary line. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full. Umpire's having a chat about it. The boundary umpire called out on the full, but the field umpires overruled it. So it's going to be a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Hawks. They trail it by a point. They have it in a dangerous spot. In the ruck there was Smith. He won it down, but nothing doing afterwards, and we'll get a ball up.
Moore tackled his fellow 52 in McLaughlin. Umpire throws it up. The Hawks salvage something here. They're trailing by a point after leading for much of the day. Gore's kick not great. It's been turned over. I think that's Will Golds that has it on the outer side for Box Hill.
So training comes into play here. How many goals have they kicked from that side? That's,
well, Golds is on the Hawthorn list, Stoney, so I doubt he trains here much.
But
he's probably played a lot of footy here this year, obviously.
Yeah.
He's at the intersection of Whitehorse Road and Middleborough Road. Big kick, a point will level the scores. Box Hill's already had a draw this year. Right foot's on the way. Gold's kick is perfect. Goal umpire didn't move. Big goal at a big time of the game for the young Hawk. And Box Hill regains the lead, 11-6-72. Geelong 10-7, 67, 17 minutes into the final term.
So Box Hill gets the ascendancy back, gets the goal. Now it's up to Geelong. Can they respond? Can they get their hands on the ball? Because they get another goal, they're in the game. And Box Hill, if they get one here, I reckon they're home.
Ice in the veins of Will Golds. That was a tough set shot. And he drilled it calmly. Young man from the Oakley Chargers. Taken in the rookie draft by the Hawks last year. Or in fact, later on in the national draft. As the Hawks clear through Roughhead. They go forward once again, but only as far as Harris for Geelong. Ball towards the broadcast side. Roughhead there. Tries to gather it on all fours. Not able to advance, and eventually Morrison comes in to help. And we get a stoppage. Will Golds picked 30 in the rookie draft last year. Out of the Oakley Chargers, and he's been developing well in the VFL as we get a free kick for an illegal shepherd.
Off the ball.
Oh, that's big.
And it's going to be Cat's ball. Harris has it. Pokes it over the top, looking for Parsons over his head, but has time and space to gather, and he can try to find an option inside forward 50. Long to the goal square. Buzzer with strength. Just disposed of his opponent and took the easy mark.
Big players don't get any smaller, as they say.
And from point blank range, on the slightest of angles, he should put the Cats back in front. Hasn't had his kicking boots on today, Wiley Buzzer, but that one goes through. And the Cats have the lead once again, 11-7-73, plays 11-6-72. We're not too far away from time on in the final term.
Great game of football, actually. Really good competitive game of football. Both sides, you know, Geelong started and come from nowhere because Box Hill were in the box. They probably won 2.5 quarters in this game, but obviously still about, I reckon, probably 10 minutes to go, gents, in this game.
Let's go around the grounds. Probably our last chance to do so, given we're going to have a grandstand finish here. A 58-point win for Footscray over Richmond. Leads for Collingwood, Williamstown and Casey. That's a close game as well. Casey by only 4 points over the Northern Blues. Winner of that can potentially go above the loser of this. Umpire throws it up back in the middle. They have ditched a bouncing. Good to see. Roughhead is in the middle. Brought down. Got his hand pass out. Up for grabs. Simpson reclaims for the Cats. Does well to hold on to it. Morrison couldn't quite stick the tackle. Simpson's kick inside 50. No mark taken. Ball's just ricocheted back toward the square. Simpson once more. Needs to give off by hand and does. Canali kick out wide. McLaughlin bouncing ball in front of Golds. Golds did well to win it back for Box Hill. Now Morrison. Little right football down the line. That's okay. Mark taken by Walker. Wants to keep it moving. Walker. High ball into attack for Box Hill. 2-on-1. Goes over the head. No mark was taken. This is Brownless for Geelong. Receives it now. Does Billy's boy. Kick toward the wing. Bouncing ball here for Jones. Picks it up now. He's got plenty of space on Moore. Jones towards half forward. Nice little break for Tarka. Over Kazitsky, had some space and took it uncontested. Tarka wants to slow things down. Guthrie's asking for it. Not a great ball forward. Was looking for Black and it was picked off by Kazitsky. Box Hill get it back. Not a great ball this one either. Brought down. Jones gets it back for Geelong. He's kicked towards half forward. It's all brown and gold and the mark is taken by Masidi.
Just worked it out between themselves, did Mashidi and Kazitsky. Now Mashidi sold himself into trouble. The initial kick wasn't 15, so the Cats able to just pressure. Big tackle by Jones. You could probably hear that hit on our microphones. Great work by Jermaine Jones. Tackle won't go rewarded though. It's going to be a ball up. The umpire just threw it up without knowing if the rucks were there. Roughhead did get hands to it. Meadows over the top of this one and it'll be a stalemate. 21 and a half minutes gone, final term. Plenty of games going on across the VFL this afternoon, but we've got the best one here as Narkle takes it, sends it long, one-on-ones in the goal square. Black is there. Couldn't take it in, had back position. Buzzer, was he taken high? No. And eventually the ball rushed through for a minor score. That lead now for the Cats out to 2 points.
The body positioning of Caden Brand there on Black was outstanding. 2 point lead for the Cats here. The kick in just reaches the target. No mark was paid in the end though. Now the kick comes wide. It was Jones who goes to Segler. And he goes backward for Birchall. Two men with plenty of AFL experience as Birchall goes over the top. That's a nifty little pass from Morrison. He's got some himself. Cousins now receives the handball. In towards half forward go the Hawks. The kick was just slightly overcooked for Aducci. No mark taken. Cats had numbers out the back. Little dinky kick here for Narkle. Watches it go out of play. Boundary throw in. Half forward flank for Box Hill.
This is fingernail stuff, this stuff.
Nail biter?
Nail biter.
That's what you were going for,
That's what you're going for.
Boundary throw in here. Box Hill trailing by 2 points. Have led for much of the day. Boundary throw in. Hand pass out there was interesting from Harris, but it did work out in the end. McLaughlin, he's kicked to the wing. Mirrors in position A. Wiley Buzzer had to get a hand on it. Ball up on the wing. 2 goals for Wiley Buzzer today. As the umpire's going to throw his up in the remaining sunshine at Box Hill City Oval as Segler does the dance with Abbott. Selwood couldn't get his kick away. Holding which way? Geelong's free kick for the Cats.
Simpson's ball on centre wing. Content to take his time is Sam Simpson. Eventually called to move it on. The lead comes from Schlensog. Kick well placed for him, but Brand hot on his heels gets a fist to it. 74 plays 72, round 14 action. Hard Yakka, totally workwear VFL Live. Glad to have your company on the VFL website, vfl.com.au, or if you're listening via SEN2. As the ball comes back in, Segler got fingernailed to it, but that's as far as it goes. Jones wrapped up. Approaching 24 and a half minutes gone in this final term at Box Hill City Oval. Segler flips it over the back. Morrison turned out of trouble, but then back into trouble, and Higgs caught holding the footy. Jones now takes the advantage and finds Buzzer inside forward 50.
Geelong has all the running right now, Mark Stone.
Shane O'Brien is standing right between the players here, just giving quiet instructions in their ear. So coaches come down from the box and actually he's right on the interchange bench with me here.
He knows how big this game is for his club, does Shane O'Brien, sitting in 7th at the moment. A win will see them put some pressure on the top 6 and perhaps keep their top 4 chances alive as Buzzer gets set to extend the lead to 8 points. Kick on its way. It's missing to the near side. 2 goals, 3 now for Wiley Buzzer. He's had an interesting day at the office. The Cats lead it by 3 points, 11-9 to 11-6.
Time starting the run out for Box Hill as Mercedes goes straight down the guts. We're in the middle of Box Hill City Oval. Smith backing back, a great mark. The former Gold Coast Sun took it well in the middle of Box Hill City Oval. He can milk a bit of clock if he wants. He decides to go towards half forward. Meadows left it. No mark taken. Mercedes got the fist, then the rebound. Hand pass Miss Brandt. Up for grabs here. Narkle. He's been great in the second half. Now Brandt did well. Got his hand pass out. Morrison clears away for Box Hill. Bouncing ball. Oakenbaugh can't possess. It goes out of play. Boundary throw in. Geelong leading Box Hill by 3 points. Yet another close one between the Hawks and the Cats. Umpire brings it in. Slapped forward by Segler. Bouncing ball in front of the interchange gates, and it's scored it out of play in the end by Kennelly. Boundary throw in. Tick tock, tick tock. If you're Box Hill, can they find a late winner? It's advantage Geelong at the moment. Umpire brings it in. Morrison just slipped through on all fours. Trapped the ball. Hand pass out. Now Cousins. High ball towards half forward. The Hawks need a mark here. Mullinger McHugh couldn't quite take it. Meadows just pressured by Kennelly. It's there for Mitchington to pick up. Had to duck under the Oakenbaugh tackle. There was a whistle. Throw in. No free kick. 27 minutes gone, final term, Geelong by 3 points.
6th spot potentially up for grabs for the winner of this game as Segler has been dominant in the ruck this afternoon, wins it down. High ball inside 50 from Morrison. Hasn't been down this end of the ground for a while. No mark taken. The ball thumped over the line. 11-9, 75, plays 11-6, 72. As everyone here at Box Hill City Oval just takes a collective breath. Big couple of minutes to go in this game. Dangerous position here for Box Hill. Can they sneak one from the stoppage? Plenty of numbers around it. They'll have to be clean, and hard to do so with that bigger pack around it. We'll get a ball up. This taking place about 35 metres out from the Box Hill goal. They've got the wall set up outside forward 50 as umpire crosses his arms once again. David Mirror, the deepest player on the field. If the Cats get a quick clearance out, he'll probably be the man to mark it. As Segler takes it out of the ruck. Has a ping. Bounces in the goal square. Still in play. Handball over the head. Centering ball. Someone needs to come up big for the Hawks, but it's all Geelong. Jarvis gathers. Handball. Oakenbaugh off the ground. That was inventive, but it wasn't effective. He's given away a free kick. Perhaps for kicking in danger.
Yeah, I suspect that's what it was for as well, Michael.
So it's going to be a Box Hill free kick.
Who's got the ball?
It's Nathan Boucher who has it.
Is he a left footer?
Tucked up against the pocket.
No, he's a left footer.
Hasn't had a big day today, but this could be his moment as he comes in. Wrong side for a left footer. It looks all right off the boot. It's perfect. And the Box Hill Hawks are back in front. crowd finding its voice at Box Hill City Oval as the Hawks take the lead 12-6-78 to 11-9-75.
There's one other game that's just tightened up late. Werribee down by only 4 points against Collingwood. 25 minutes gone, final term at Avalon Airport Oval. The other close one, Stoney's Casey holding on by 7 points against the Northern Blues. Big day of VFL footy. It's going to be a blowout win for Williamstown in the other game at Downer Oval against Frankston. That one's a 57-point lead. Footscray beat Richmond by 58 earlier today. Your move, Geelong, back in the middle. Hawks get the clearance. High ball inside 50. They'd love a mark right now, but it was no one at the fall. Dowling, great hand pass to release Oakenbaugh. Just lost his footing. Couldn't get his hand pass to Henderson. Gained back by the Hawks. Snap on goal for 2 in a minute. Box Hill lead by 9 points. Jackson Ross, a big goal for Box Hill. They go bang, bang, and they're now in the box seat to get win number 6 for the season.
It was an amazing game football. Like 10 minutes ago, Geelong were just in control of the game. Box Hill before that. We've seen Box Hill last 2 goals. Just swings and roundabouts. It's a great game. That's why we love it.
Second goal for Ross and 26th of the season. And he might have just given Box Hill their 6th win of the season. What a game of swings and roundabouts this one has been. The Hawks lead it by 9 points. They led it by 18 at three-quarter time, but the Cats took the lead. And now the Hawks have kicked 2 in a couple of minutes. As we get another stoppage, Geelong needs to score almost immediately from this stoppage. What can they conjure up?
James Munro goal for Casey. They're out to a 13-point lead over the Blues.
Selwood overran it. Back in he goes again, but it's going to go Box Hill's way. Leading to it now is Walker. He overran it. A chance still for Box Hill. It's just outside their forward 50. Jones has it. He's been massive today, but he can't get it clear. The Hawks more than happy to clog it up with stoppages for however long remains in this contest. 13-6, 84, plays 11-9, 75. We've seen a classic here on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live. As the clearance comes, but intercepted by Henderson. They need to go quickly here, the Cats, and take some risks. That one's not going to work out, though. Mackie gives it off to Ross for his 3rd. Just misses. 13-7, plays 11-9, 10-point ball game, 32 gone.
Hawks have probably done enough. The kick toward the middle of the ground. Geelong need to be direct and they need to be efficient. Well done, Caden Brandt. He was brave and he got the smother. McLaughlin tried to hack it forward. Brownless did so. Bouncing ball. Guthrie meets it. Hand pass off. And Box Hill wins. Geelong came very hard and very late. But Jackson Ross kicks a great goal to win it for Box Hill. 6 wins now on the board for their season. 6-5-1. Cats go to 6-6. And Box Hill win by 10 points. 13-7-85. Geelong 11-9-75. And Mark Stone will make his way out and pick out a Hawk. Great win by Box Hill in front of the home fans today.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Great performance. What a thrilling finish. We'll just run through some of the goal kickers. Jack Ross ended up with 2 goals, including that really important one late. Luke Meadows kicked a couple as well, and singles to Roughhead, Segler, Walker, Minchington, Harry Jones, Will Golds, who also kicked an important goal, Mullinger McHugh, and Boucher, who was one of the other heroes. He put the Hawks in front, and the 23rd man, Jai Nansquin, also kicked a goal for the Hawks. Wiley Buzzer kicked 2 goals, 3. He'd be ruining some missed opportunities. Parsons also kicked a couple, as did Luke Smith, and singles to Zach Smith, Quinton Narkle, Oscar Brownless, Jake Tarker, and Sam Simpson.
Boys, John Segley, great game, really good game performance. They come at you, Geelong, and you had to really dig in deep that last quarter.
Yeah, they did. A quality side, a quality organisation, so we knew they'd come like three-quarter time. No one thought it was over, and they come pretty hard. So it's good to this group. I think early in the year they struggled to win those close games, and they probably would have lost that 3-4 weeks ago. So to bounce back a few young boys in the team, a few mature blokes. Yeah, it's a really good step forward for us.
Team performance, I thought all day you really, right through the whole game, apart from 10 minutes in that last quarter, really played really good team play. Defensive was really good. Yourself, you had a really good game?
Yeah, that was probably our mantra a bit, the defence. Box Hill and Hawthorn. Probably struggled with the scoring bit today. 13 goals, that's a good effort, but the defence is probably our DNA really, so we bring that each week. We are hard to beat.
Yourself, you obviously your form today was sensational. I thought you had a great game, and you were happy with today's game for yourself?
Yeah, I think things have been going pretty well. I had to come back and we haven't rucked much at AFL level, so it was a bit of a different role for me. I've sort of mainly played forward, so to ruck, and they had I think 3 or 4 big blokes and put a bit of work in me, so we broke even with them, so that's really a good result considering they had a few. But we'll just go to work next week and see how we go.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Great work, Mark Stone. Boundary side. John Segler had a massive game today. He was absolutely everywhere. Picked up 23 disposals to be the leading disposal winner on the ground. He also had 10 marks and 46 hit-outs, Stoney. He had himself an excellent game.
Really good. I thought he was around the ground. Right from the start, he kept him in the game, marked around the ground, and he was brilliant today. That's why I sort of picked him out at the end of the game.
Yeah, great work, Stoney, and a big game for Jono Segler. James Cousins worked himself into the contest later on. He picked up 22 disposals for the game. Taya Miles was the leading disposal winner for much of the day. He had 22 as well. And Harry Jones and Damien Mashidi each picked up 21 for Box Hill. They had plenty of winners on the day. As we look over to the Cats stats, Quinton Narkle led the way with 22 disposals and also kicked a nice goal as well. James Parsons with 22 and 2 goals. That's almost a regular game for him. He's a very good player at VFL level, is James Parsons. And Lockie Henderson and Scott Selwood each picked up 21 as well. As the Hawks make their way off the ground. We're just losing you, Stoney, for the moment as they make their way off the ground to the Box Hill Hawks to a raucous round of applause from their fans. They were well supported today. A good crowd in, Stoney.
Yeah, really good crowd. Like I said, this Box Hill, this fixture down here gets a really good following of local people, and as you can see, the players, you can hear in the effects mic, players getting clocked off the ground. Good band of supporters, and always have been very successful club, the Box Hill Hawks.
Yeah, they have won the premiership last year. They did, Stoney, and they look like they'll be right there once again when the whips are cracking. This one a very important game for both sides, as we mentioned a number of times throughout the game. 7th taking on 8th coming into the round. And with Box Hill getting that win, Stoney, they just move up to 6th, 1 game behind Port Melbourne in 5th. As we just go around the grounds, because we had one very close finish that I know you would have had your eyes on, Stoney. Collingwood just got over the line against Werribee in the end. So
what was the difference?
It was 3 points, 12-8-80 to 11-11-77. So that a big win for the Magpies to keep their finals hopes alive, and a big blow for Werribee, who were sitting in 6th coming into the round, but they go down and they find themselves in that mid-table logjam. At the moment, they're sitting at 6 and 6, as are the Cats and also the Casey Demons, who got a win over the Northern Blues. They're making a charge towards the final 8 as well, sitting in 9th position. And as we said, for the Hawks, they move up to 6th on the ladder. 6-5-1 they are on 26 premiership points. We'll just run through the winners quickly before signing off. The Footscray Bulldogs, a big win over the Tigers, just their 2nd loss of the season. A 58-point win for Footscray at VU Whitten Oval. Collingwood, as we said, getting the win over Werribee at Avalon Airport Oval in a thrilling finish. And also the KC Demons, 11-19-85, if you don't mind, getting it done over the Northern Blues, 11-6-72. And not quite finished yet at Downer Oval, but we know the result of that one. Williamstown will get a big win over Frankston. In fact, that's just ticked over to full time. So a big win for the Seagulls. Here at Box Hill City Oval, it was a tight contest. It lived up to the hype. It was Box Hill 13-7-85 over Geelong 11-9-75. For Adam Sarakoglu and Mark Stone, this is Michael Pepicelli saying good night.